Hey y'all, what's going on? It is the Culture Critiques panel, and we are back again to discuss The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 7, The Husbands. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
And here we are. Which I said it like that because shout outs to the diva Erica De Niro TV, because whenever she's always trying to imitate how Sweet Tea leave my husband out of it. From Married to Madison, y'all. So that was just me being funny nonetheless. We're here. Happy Halloween to those who celebrate.
Happy Halloween. Happy birthday to one of my sisters. Next in line, my sister Nita. She is 48 today. Oh, let me get 52, 49 today. Mallory turned 48 last month. Nita is 49 today. She's the last of her 40s. Okay, girl, turn up. Happy birthday. And happy birthday to one of my cousins who live in Houston as well. She's my age. She's 52. That's my cousin Nicole. So happy birthday to you too, girl. Yes. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yes, y'all. We are here to discuss with you all yet again. But before we get into all that, y'all already know where this is about to go. You guys know what you need to do. And if you don't, I'm going to tell you anyway. That is to like the video on both channels. We're streaming from both of our channels. So hit the like button on both, please. And thank you. Also, if you're not catching this live, you're going to catch it on the playback. That's okay too. Shout out to the playback gang. We can keep the conversation going in the comment section below. And if you are not subscribed to both of us, go ahead, hit the subscription button on both as well, because we have our own, individual content that we make outside of this and everything. So, just go ahead and be a subscriber. Also, share us with everybody you know and hit the notification bell too. So just, simple things. We don't require too much, but it's a mutually beneficial exchange over here. You guys like and subscribe, and we come to you guys with a good old commentary. I think that's fair. I think that's pretty fair.
I think even exchange for sure.
I think so. You already said, but we weren't on yet. But how did you feel about this episode?
This episode, they stepped it up. Some things. You know what? Seeing the husbands have their tay-to-tay was different. So not so much that it was different, but we don't really get much of that. So that was a refreshing, different look and outtake on some things. And they taught me some things because woosah. But overall, I give this episode an 8, maybe an 8.5, because I really, really, really enjoyed it. I look at Brown a little different. I look at Heather a little different. I look at Lisa the same. I was just joking. No, Lisa. I look at Lisa a little different. She, there was
I look at Lisa a little different too because of one scene.
Yes. When we get to those scenes, I'll be able to, unmask, if you will, on Halloween night. We're gonna unmask some things, and there were some things, that I found out about Braun that I don't enjoy, but I now understand a little bit, and we will get to that. It's all in my notes. So yeah, this is for me, I just watched the episode too. It's fresh on my mind. It was really, for me, a good episode. I'm mad I didn't get to see Meredith.
Yeah, y'all. This is how many episodes now. Where's Meredith? Brittany should have taken Meredith's spot this season. And actually, rumor I saw online or whatever, rumor has it that apparently Brittany was full-time at first, but then she got demoted because she kind of contrived some of that storyline with her and Jared or whatever. So
Jesus.
I don't know. That's just what I heard through.
No, that sounds about right. It sounds about right with Brittany. All that sounds about right, because I recall when we got the first looks on that when they were coming back, and that was before they came back that we discussed, and I feel like we discussed that we're getting a couple of new girls, and Brittany was included in that, and not like a
But
friend
it
of.
didn't differentiate. Well, I don't think it really differentiated whether she was a friend at that point. But
Yeah, maybe we just assumed time because
I definitely
because
think
we
that we just
saw 'em.
based on, especially off of this episode, like, girl,
Meredith, where
she's
you
over
at?
here holding it down. Meredith, where are you? Like,
In the mountains. You're the lady. Ooh. She over there
I
in the mountains somewhere, girls. I don't know what's going on with
don't know.
Meredith. Yeah, but you know what? Her and Red Cup Seth gonna be in the building next
Well, we're
week.
gonna eventually have to, yes, that, and we're eventually gonna have to get to the bat mitzvah. Yeah. So,
By
I
now,
mean,
yes.
she'll eventually come back around, but it's
Maybe
just
that's
like
they gearing up for. Maybe they trying to,
we're on
yeah,
episode 7. I don't know how many episodes are in this season, y'all, but all I'm saying is Homegirl's been a little more than MIA.
more
Anyway,
than. But yeah,
let's
eight and a
go.
half, 8.5. What did you give it before we even get to
Um,
the beautiful chat that I love so much?
mm, I'm trying to think. Yeah, maybe like between a 7 and an 8. I can't.
Okay,
Uh,
7.5. Then we gonna go right down the middle.
yeah, 7.5. Maybe at the end I might bump it up to whole 8. I don't remember.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
it was good nonetheless. It was good nonetheless, y'all. But as we always say, not every episode can be a 10, and that is okay. We need some of these other episodes to kind of fill in the gaps and spaces and have these not over the top conversations, but necessary conversations at the same
Yes,
time.
that's what. Come on now.
Mhm. But
Oh, reason why I watch.
hello, Kimmy. I feel like I was talking to you forever. Thank you for coming through. I understand, as she said, like the video, like the video, like the video. And it is totally okay. We understand you're at work or whatever, but we appreciate you even popping through. You're caught up. So I can't wait to go back and forth and talk to you about the season and your feelings and all
Yeah.
those. So,
Yes, Kimmy Nicole.
wing, wing, wing. Hey,
Love
Kevin.
it. Love
We
it.
a little bit behind the scenes about stuff too. So we're gonna get into it as we do every single week. You already know. Good to have
Mm-hmm.
you here as always. Hey Ray
Ray
Ray.
Ray, my lady of the day. What's going on, girly girl?
Always appreciate seeing you in here. Not
Yes.
jump to the end of the episode, but I was all for the Bronwyn and Heather scene. Heather was defeated. On another note, Heather will not be a part of Bronwyn's getaway trip. Okay, so because I meant to go back and re-look at the trailer real quick again and see if Heather was actually going to be there or not. I didn't go get to do that. So okay, you're saying that it's looking like she's not. So I mean, it
What do you remember how that scene? We gonna get there, but do you remember how that scene ended? Do you?
yeah. But like, I just didn't know them. I don't know. I was still like, is she definitely? Because it's still at the end of the day, yes, it's Bronwyn's trip, but it's still a cast trip. It's still production has their hand in it at the same time or whatever. It's still
Wah,
work,
wah,
so
wah.
you can't really,
No,
unless it's like your personal space. I really don't think ultimately you
it's
can
my personal anniversary.
out though.
It's
Yeah,
my
but
personal
that's
anniversary.
not how this actually works. It's not any of these ladies' actual trips and money going into the stuff half the
True,
time.
true beans, true tea, true
Meredith
wine.
was more than awful on what happens live.
What's true?
Absolute worst.
Kevin,
When I
did
saw, that's why I didn't. I watched it or had it on for maybe an additional 5 minutes,
I
but
didn't even
I
go
turned
that
it off
far.
because I saw it was her, and I was just like, she hasn't even been a part of nothing the last couple episodes. So what could she really add at this point? But you're saying it's
Slow
awful.
talking.
I believe it. I
Hey,
believe
as soon as she walked out, I was like, okay, nice dress. Okay, turn off.
we're gonna talk about this, Ray Ray. Don't you worry. We're gonna talk about that because Bronwyn, baby girl, we do better. Okay, here we go, y'all. Here we go. So this episode picks up, of course, right where we left off last episode, which is smack dab in between Lisa going up to Justin to tell him how his wife is a liar, an effing liar. She don't know how he deals with her. And of course, then John jumps in to defend Lisa. And then so Justin's over here. Everybody is, it's like them four. We got Whitney trying to diffuse the situation while she also is standing her ground and saying that no, Lisa, you're the liar here. She wasn't backing down off of that. And then actually speaking of Meredith, this is the only thing that she really added to this episode, which I just wanted to highlight because I didn't know if anybody really caught that because there was so many people saying different stuff.
And they call it from the back to her. All you can see was the back of
Yeah,
her
and I wanted
ponytail.
to brush her ponytail too. I was like, what happened to her ponytail? Anyway, she's like, give her the benefit of the doubt. Stop saying you want to do it and do
Just
it.
do it. And do it.
Although I have my own viewpoints on whatever went down between them and who's at fault and who's not at fault or whatever, Meredith, have a seat, please. Anyway, so then Angie, because it's her house, her party, her anniversary, all the things, she interjects and she's like, okay, this is what we're not going to do. Like, can we not do this? My daughter's actually right here. And then she announces that Mary's going to lead them in prayer. Which is something that should have happened hours ago, as Mary said, and it definitely should have. So as Mary's like, everybody's like joining hands and everything like that, she's like, Lisa, I'm going to need you to go find Whitney's hand and you guys just love each other and hold hands or whatever. And Whitney's like, or Lisa's like, no. And Mary's like, not letting up off of it. So Lisa finally goes over there and she's like, well, don't lie about me. And Whitney's like, well, then don't call me a liar. And I was like, I wonder if they're doing like because I would have been squeezing the out of her hand anyway. I just like, so they're holding hands, and I was also like, wait, John, you're not gonna go over there too? She just like left. It was weird. Anyway, but directly following the final amen, Lisa turns to Whitney and she starts going off again and again, talking about she didn't do anything to her, none of the DMs, the Instagram accounts, anything like that. That was not her. So do not call me a liar. And Justin's on the other side of Whitney, and that's when he kind of leans over to ask her, like, why are you saying this? Like, what, like trying to actually have a conversation. But before they could continue that conversation, and I have a picture, we see John come up, and John doesn't just, at this point, John doesn't just come up and just be like, stop, whatever. There was contact. He placed his hand on Justin's shoulder.
And Bush.
Yeah. And yeah. So we're going to talk about that in 2 seconds. But so of course, Justin is like probably feeling threatened at this point. And he's like, don't touch me, John. Get him the F away from me. I'm going to pound his, if you don't get him away from me. And John's like, well, you don't need to talk to Lisa like that. Lisa's still going off. Whitney is, again, right there saying her piece or whatever. And then we have everybody else. The whole party's still going. So Heather's like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. The husbands are involved. Like, this is bad this time. And so afterwards, Justin and Whitney, of course, decide to leave. And then we have Lisa over here. She's kind of getting emotional. And she has kind of the ladies gathered around, and she's wiping away her tears, talking about how she's just exhausted because every time they take 2 steps forward, her and Whitney, she does some BS and starts accusing her of some BS, and she's sick of it. This is like the final nail in the coffin for Lisa. And she's very much slighted also because she was the one that bought the first piece of jewelry from Whitney. And she actually did talk a bit about this on, I don't know if that was this after show or last week, whatever. But she did say on an after show that they had when Whitney was doing her launch or whatever, they donated like over like $2,000 worth of liquor, and she was in fact the person that bought her first piece of jewelry. And she's like, because of that, like, I'm done, I'm never going to forgive her. And Angie and Sean are just kind of like, wow, party over. Yeah, get out my house. Okay, how do we feel about this?
Okay, a couple of things. First off, Lisa was wrong for rushing over there to get in Justin's face to talk about his wife to him. First of all, what are you doing? Like, don't come talking to my husband in his face, because my husband is going to say something back to you. But we're talking about Justin here. So Justin did say something back. Don't call my wife a liar. Your wife is an effing liar. He walks up because she's walking away as she's ran up on him. Now she wants to run off after she says what she wants to say, and he steps forward, steps forward and says, "Don't call my wife a effing liar." And then here comes her husband, like, "Don't walk up on my wife." He tells her about the chest, you got your hand on my chest, like, what are you doing? So that was the first altercation. Lisa was wrong. She started that. She's always deflecting. You could have kept stage your behind over there with the girls. You already cussed Whitney out, so why you got to go over there and go? You literally cussed Whitney out. You did, out loud, cussed her out. To turn around and go to her husband to call her a liar to him, and then run off and think somebody's not supposed to say something. And all your husband can do is touch Justin. John, grow 2 more pair of balls, okay? I'm gonna need you to grow 2 more pair of them.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know about
need
that
you.
one look, but okay, yeah.
I'm gonna need you to grab your wife and say, "Hey, what's wrong? What happened? What's going on?" What you not gonna do is put your hands on another man when he's defending his wife. Because what you just said is, I had to put my hands. I mean, he put his hands on because he's defending his wife. Okay, so what am I supposed to do when she comes in my face and do what she does? So that's number one. Didn't like that. Unappreciated. Didn't like it at all. So Lisa was mouthing off over there and came over here. She just disrupted the whole party. Her and John actually should excuse themselves from the party. That's what really should have happened. You know what? I'm so upset. I need to go. Bye. That's what y'all should have did. What was the other thing that we talked about? Oh, that prayer was really short, Mary, for you wanting them to hold hands and all this other stuff. I thought you was about to get down on a prayer. That prayer, they could have stayed in place. I understand. I understand. We are in Mormon's house. They probably do it different. I don't know. I don't know how they pray. I don't know how to do it. But I'm just saying.
She Pentecost.
However she got down, she did what she did. It was just really short for me. It was
A lot
kind
of
of
different
weird.
religions in there, yeah.
And I was frankly appalled that Meredith was saying what she was saying, because when she was calling you every bit of everything in New York on the hot mic, was you so forgiving? Was you giving her the benefit of the doubt? Was it all in fun? Like, come on now. Like, stop. Y'all, I don't know why maybe they know something we don't know, but I feel like they are really babying Lisa. And Lisa's eking it up. And you already know a narc loves that. Give them some attention. So yeah, I'm not feeling none of that. Meredith, go sit yourself down, because you very clearly have taken sides. And ain't nobody said. Whitney says, "I have proof." Somebody told it to me. You ain't even getting the girl time to even tell you what she's heard. You literally are like, "I didn't do it. I don't." What didn't you do? I ain't told you what you did yet. So what did you do? So I mean, that's just my thought.
Okay. I'll hit these comments real quick and then I'll
Okay.
talk. Lisa
All right.
was all kind of wrong for walking up on Justin. Lisa pulled a bona fide Karen stunt. Yeah, I can agree with that.
I'm like, that's about right.
I can only imagine the atmosphere in LA now that the Dodgers are the 2024 champions.
They burnt it down. They burnt up one of our buses.
I should have went.
And when I tell you, it's crazy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, I cut my hair just a bit, y'all.
I just realized that. That's why you look different. It looks cute. I like.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, for bringing it to my attention, because I literally had other things going on in my head today.
Appreciate it. Mary gave a surface yet politically correct pray for the clear people. I'm just saying. Yeah, I think that was all encompassing. Like, I don't think she wanted to get too, carried away with it, because it's a very much melting pot group. Some people are Jewish, some people are Mormon, some people are Pentecostal. Like, there's a lot going on there. I heard about the bus. Yeah. It's wild.
Yay, Los Dodgers. We went up. Fire. It was the 4th of July last night for us. That's all I could say. Go ahead, Miss Ma'am. Give me your perspective so I can look at it differently.
Lisa definitely, no, she should not have just walked up on him like that. Absolutely not, because like, you never know in those situations that one or two things can happen. Like, well, one, that's just like not cool. Like, don't put him in that position. Don't put everybody in that position. Like, that's just not cool to do that. And also with, yes, him being a man or whatever, that opens up the grounds for, if you do that to the wrong person one day, they could actually escalate it a whole other way, and you could really end up getting more than your feelings hurt. You could be physically assaulted, because some people are not wrapped too tight. So
Yikes.
I'm just saying, obviously I don't think that Justin's that type of person,
Mhm.
obviously, but you just never know. So just, I wouldn't try people regardless. And then also, like, I mean, and obviously when Justin and John talk, John kind of speaks on where he was coming from. And at the same time, two things can be true. I can understand a little bit of why John may have been like, okay, you kind of started to turn and walk behind her or whatever. Like, I mean, I can understand that, but at the same time, to your point, I feel like instead of you trying to check him or go after him or whatever, you should have gone to your wife, because she's the one that enticed this whole thing to go this way. She came up to him first. So you should have been like, hey, Lisa, let's go over here. And I feel like that's just the dynamic that they have, that she just be doing whatever, whatever. And he just, instead of actually balancing her out and actually telling her when she's wrong and stuff like that, like, you try to correct the other person instead of correcting like what she did. Like, I don't
You
know. I
think,
understand that.
because you think John is afraid because he knows that she is like a deflector. So let's just, like, when I say that, meaning like, okay, so she's mad at who is she talking to, and then he goes and, Lisa, you need to calm down. I'm not calming down, John, and then turn around and put the anger on him, and he knows that better than anybody. So I feel like he probably is like,
I
you
think
know
it's
what?
like shout outs to the 18 people on X Twitter that are watching too. Y'all go on ahead and come over here, subscribe
Hey,
to the
Ashley,
channel.
what's up?
Please and thank you. But I don't know if it's that as much as it's just, there's just some people in life sometimes that just, no matter what the person next to them is doing, that they just don't see any fault in it at all or whatever. I see it in a lot of like parent-child relationships. I see it a lot in like sibling, like any type of interpersonal close relationship, husband and wife, husband and husband, wife, wife, whatever. Like, I feel like sometimes some people are just like okay with letting the other person do with whatever, and they just won't see they won't hold them accountable for whatever reason. Um, I feel like that could have went a whole different direction. And then him just coming up to Justin the second time and putting his hands on him or whatever, like that was totally, I feel like, uncalled for.
I
Because
don't
at
think he
that
saw
point,
that happen. Go ahead.
well, I think he speaks on it later that he was just still so heightened from the first go around that he just how did he put it? He was like, he didn't think that any I forget. We'll get to that later,
Yeah,
but
but that's
I just no. Maybe he didn't see what happened, but still, it's just like, then go see what happened before you react. Then, like, because you put your hands on the wrong person, like he said, your ass is going to get pounded. Like, I
because
don't know.
again, Justin was very calm, cool, and very, very collective. And he was in his soft inner voice. He was like, but my wife's not lying. And he's not even in her face. He just leaned forward and asked her so she can see him talk to her. And it was just like, and here comes her husband bombarding him.
It was just like, what?
It was like, wait a minute, John. They not
I was like so confused. I'm like, what? He actually he escalated it again by doing that. Like,
one point why
relax.
they
And
should
I
have
feel
left.
like I don't know. Maybe that's why they are together, because they just, I don't know. They in their own, obviously, and we heard it. They in their own codependent little bubble. So maybe that's how
Hey,
they get down. I don't know.
that's true.
Um,
Yep.
what else do I have to say about that? Yeah, we talked about the prayer. Um, at the same time though, despite how it was handled during this party, that doesn't negate like the fact that it's Whitney. I'm hearing through the grapevine that you're looking like the liar in this situation. So I'm really eager to see how that unfolds at the reunion, and we can even, I'll obviously expound more on that probably in the end of this. But that doesn't, again, yeah, that doesn't negate how it was handled at this point. Regardless of who was lying or whatever, it
But you
shouldn't
know
have got.
what? It goes back to before we get into this comment, and I just really feel like if Lisa would just listen to what Whitney was trying to say, maybe we could have got some things out a little, even if you denied everything, even if it's not you, hear out what she. Really, what did you hear that I said, or not even who said it? What did I do? To please enlighten me, because I feel like at least then you got a reason to be mad. Like right now, I know you're mad because she's accusing you, but she also is telling you somebody told her this. So I'm just saying, like, listen to what she got to say. Don't just shut it all down. And I feel like that's why Whitney in her head is gonna be like, "Oh yeah, you did it because you shut me down." And then Lisa said, "I'm shutting you down because I didn't do it." It's like, look, can we have a conversation?
But
So
are you going to give somebody a conversation who every time you turn around, they're trying to Heather in the book and all that, Mary and the cult and all that, like Whitney has a track record for conjuring up stuff like this or whatever. So you get to a certain point, and it's not to we're not saying this person is innocent and guilty. Like we're not
I
saying
don't
that.
know. I literally
This
don't know.
situation from Lisa's perspective, it's like this person is always trying to start some stuff. So it's like as soon as you even get a sprinkle of that's what they're trying to do in this situation, you're just like you might fly off the handle. And that's the type of person that Lisa is. But
I
we
can see
also
that.
see people online talk about like the other side then too, where it's like, well, Lisa, you were so quick to start jumping off the handle or whatever. Is that more of a deflection because you were guilty or whatever? So it's a lot of angles to look at it, y'all. And I
I can't wait to
respect
get to the
anybody.
bottom of it.
Please let us know in the comments what your take is on it, because yeah, we don't know the 100% truth, so we might as well talk about it. Yeah, he did jump the gun.
Mhm.
Before it is mentioned, Justin does not owe Lisa an apology, period. For John to ask Justin to apologize to Lisa turned me all the way off on John. John can forever kick rocks with no socks. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, yeah, and that was, I feel like that was a moment where it was just like it should have never got to that point, because now it's awkward, and Justin they're probably trying to move. I don't think that they have any true animosity between them. I really don't. And I really do feel like they probably, if this never happened, they would have just kept being cool enough and it would have been fine. But now it's like you're putting everybody in predicament, Lisa, by what you did. And Justin, no, I don't really feel like Justin, no, I don't really think he owes her a whole genuine apology. Um, or it should be, if anything, it should be a mutual apology. Then I'm sorry for coming up to you. And if Justin feels it in his heart to say, well, yeah, I'm sorry if you felt threatened, but I was just trying to have a conversation. Like I would never go after you like that. That's I don't know. We'll see. Anyway,
I mean, in that moment, Lisa is totally in the wrong. It has nothing to do with what even the what we're even discussing. Don't walk up on no man and call his wife nothing unless you're saying something nice. That just is
should
like
have just kept it between her
we're
and
just not doing that. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Whether she a liar or not, she said it, he didn't. Because if we do that, then it's like saying, Justin, well, he heard it out the horse's mouth on TV, on her phone. So in Justin's mind, he's like, she's not a liar. I heard it with my own ears. So in Justin's mind, he's just as correct in what he's
Mhm.
saying. So we can go back. It is like a nonstop back and forth. I'm right, she's right. If we look at it from this perspective, but in the just to bottom line it, don't walk up on no husband or don't walk up on no wife talking about that husband or wife and think everything's gonna be peachy keen. It ain't. That ain't how
Correct,
you do that. That's it. Just don't do it.
correct,
And
correct.
so he owes an apology for that. And for him to say anything else, John, go ahead.
I just don't think that he held his wife accountable enough.
None. Like a
And
none.
we can continue this right now as we go into this next scene. The next day, we pop in on the Barlows first, and they check in with one another. What do he have? A chicken and some salad. And Lisa's like,
Wait, did you say I baked this chicken? I said,
yeah, like y'all don't be cooking. He did have
girl,
this stuff,
man.
like he was gonna make the
The
own
salad.
salad though. So I will give them kudos for that.
Yeah.
Because even I don't be doing it. I just buy the bag one.
You know,
Um
Why?
I mean, unless I'm gonna have like people or like an actual something, then yeah, if it's just a regular weeknight, yeah, we getting this salad in a bag. Like, bye. Anyway,
I ain't mad.
um, um, but so they're at home, them two, and she's like, she had a quiet day. She really needed it, Mr. Boxer. And he responds with, "No, Mr. Boxer, I'm gonna stand up for my or no, Mister, I'm gonna stand up for my mouthy wife." And that's what I mean. Like, you're not like it's
You
not
know her mouth is mouthy.
that's what I'm saying. It's not clicking. And Lisa's like, well, she was very surprised by Justin's reaction in that moment. And John's like, well, yeah, he went from a smile 1 second to super aggressive coming at you the next. And so of course my protector alarms went off. And Lisa doesn't think that John did anything wrong as well. They both don't think the other person did anything wrong in the situation. And if the rules were reversed, Whitney had walked up to John, she says that he would have just been like, okay, Whitney, whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But anyway, and when it comes down to how Justin feels about it right now, John says that he thinks Justin he's not going to let this come in between them, being friends and moving forward. They just have to figure out how that looks right now for them. And then of course Lisa's going on about how if she really wanted to put negativity out there about Whitney's business, she would have went to the New York Times or Good Morning America or whatever. Don't nobody care about your jewelry business. Like, goodbye. And then I guess we'll just hit them both at the same time. Then over at the Rose household, I meant to get pictures of this, but I forgot.
The dumping of the
I'm like, that was like probably the only picture that was like really like, oh, I should have got. Anyway, we see Justin double fisting some down the drain the Blue Jays, and then he also grabs the Vita tequila after that. He pouring everything out, y'all. And Whitney's like, what's going? You're getting rid of that? That's a brand new bottle. What are we doing? And he's like, well, if they don't support us, we're not going to support them. And I'm like, Justin. I'm like, is
petty.
Is he laid off or something again? Because he first you contacted Jared and told him to come over to the party. Now you over here being petty, pouring out the liquor and stuff like that. I think Justin want a snowflake too. Anyway, and Whitney doesn't really share in that sentiment so much because she's just like, if it makes you feel better, that's fine. But he was mainly set off by how John was coming at him more so. That's what Justin says in this moment. Mm-hmm. And Whitney was taken aback because she's never seen this side of her husband. And he's like, well, have you ever seen anybody invade my personal space like that and push me to that point? Exactly. And Whitney believes that Lisa wanted to fight as a way to get the attention off of what she was accusing her of, basically, is what it all comes down to. What do we need to say about those two scenes? I don't really.
I told you earlier
yeah.
what I felt. I felt like John, even in this moment, should have told his wife, babe, boxing and all this, all that joking. I don't know if they had a full conversation. Don't know if production cut it. But what I do know is he should have still told his wife, babe, don't ever do that again because don't put me in that situation.
Because it could have got even worse.
I'm a small frame man. And I'm not about to do all of that. I'm not about to fight. And I don't want to be put in that position to feel like I'm about to fight or defending you in any way. Just try to relax yourself. So I feel like he didn't check, not check, because that's the wrong word. Just let her know, like, come to me. You having a problem with anybody, always just come to me. So I can calm you down, let me know what's going on. And then I'm aware so that I have weapons of my own that I know how to defend you. I can't defend you coming up to somebody saying they're a liar. I can't defend that yet because I don't know what's going on. Come talk to me. Then we discuss. And then I'll be like, the next person call you a liar, or the next person say something, I know what's going on. I can speak. So I feel like that was a missed opportunity for him and his wife, because I do think he's kind of scared of her. Not scared.
It's just like, I don't
wear the pants.
He's just like, I don't know. Like they just have a very interesting dynamic, y'all. yeah, they just have a really interesting dynamic. And again, like you don't see anything like even as you guys watched it back. I need to go look on her Twitter or something because like even when you guys watch it back, you don't see anything wrong with any of y'all's actions. Like, come on now.
Yeah, that was a playing theme for me. I've seen somebody else that was doing that exact same thing on this on that same platform. That it wasn't for me, wasn't taking accountability, but they was like point, 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 point. I was like, oh, it's different for you. This
I
not.
totally
I
agree.
don't know so much if it's different, but yeah, we'll get there.
What are we doing?
um,
I just literally got caught up yesterday and Mary is clocked in. Yes, yes.
yes, we've been girl. You got to go watch our
Him, but I need some more from Meredith. Yeah. Yeah, we good.
sis. Yes, it's you gotta go back and watch. We've been giving Mary her kudos. We're shout out
Mhm.
to Nola Reed because she love her some Mary, and we've been sitting there. We've been watching her show up every week. Yes,
Facts.
Lisa
Lisa
seems to be
is
deflecting. That's what I say.
I can understand why people some people say that too. I can
Mhm,
understand that too. If I didn't
mhm.
know more backstory, I
Right, my sister knows. I don't know the backstory. She knows. So what she
you
knows.
were supposed to watch the video.
I don't know, but you know, sis be busy and doing dumb, crazy things. And so with that, I hadn't watched it yet. So I'm speaking from the people from the mindset of just watching it and not caught up on backstory. But I can't wait because I just strive for balance and I like for people to be I like right is right and wrong is wrong and whoever's wrong, get them out of here. Shout out
Yeah.
to the Yankees.
Didn't apologize to Lisa.
Out of here.
And I feel like that's what it was. It put him like it was one of those situations where you don't want to be disrespectful to the person, but it's just like you're pulling my leg, right? Like
You
you're
see, he
not
didn't
really
give no eye contact. You
like
see,
you're not serious right now. Like
Justin was spot on looking at
he was
him
biting his
in his
tongue like
eyeballs
so
through
hard.
his soul. But when he said he was eating, that food couldn't even give him no more contact. Like,
It's
he
kind of like I'm being punked, right? Like you're not serious.
couldn't believe it.
Lisa,
He
yes,
was
she
talking,
did.
yes.
Justina Rose owes Lisa an apology, in my opinion, because he joined in the conversation the second time Whitney and Lisa argued. Yeah, I mean, he didn't have like okay, I can
On that
understand.
second point,
Did he have to? No, he definitely didn't have to. Um, but it still is just like John still didn't need to come over there and be
that's
like
what
that,
you're
then or whatever.
saying. That's what you're
Like,
saying.
yeah.
Like, you're
And I mean, yeah, at that point, Whitney could have been like, "Babe, I can handle it" or whatever. Which she already said to. I remember she said it to John. She was like, or she might have said it at that point. She was like, "Me and Lisa, we're fine. We can handle this." But nobody was listening to baby boy
right.
space.
That's true though. That did keep it going. That kept it going a little bit, even though he came soft as pie. Like she's not a liar.
Yeah, but just very good. Yeah, yeah. John is a Stepford husband
Let's
fling
get for right.
threatened. John is a sneaky, not to be trusted. I
Hey,
don't.
Auntie
I mean,
Bernice.
I can only imagine the convert. Like I can only imagine. And that's why I can't wait until next week when we're gonna see all the husband everybody together. Because well, first of all,
Meltdowns.
that's we rarely get that these days. On the Housewives, we know back in the day, it was amazing. Atlanta, Jersey, like we used to get that. We don't really get it anymore. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited for that. This show
Yeah.
got hired yesterday. Give him apparent. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, is he fired again? Because he is getting involved this season. I okay. Lisa better be lucky Justin wasn't a pimp named Slickback because that's what I said. Hey, Auntie Bernice. I don't know if you were in here yet, but that's what I said. Like at the same time, Lisa, like, and that's honestly what I feel like. If John don't tell her anything else, he should tell her that at least because he's like, what if I wasn't there or whatever? You come up to the wrong person and they crack you in your, and it's going to be a whole, you're just going to be cracked in your stuff. And that could, I mean, that could be a man or a woman or whoever, but in
That's
this case,
real though.
man, obviously. Some
Yeah.
people, some people are not wrapped too tight, y'all.
Second
Justin
time, me
interjected
and Lisa were talking.
the second time Whitney and Lisa were talking, but he wasn't. He wasn't. He
Yeah,
wasn't.
he didn't have to.
At
I
that point,
agree, he didn't have to, but he didn't come in. He didn't come like malicious, unlike some people, Lisa, doing the way she did. So for him, I feel like he was still in. I mean, you're right, he didn't have to, but it wasn't like he was like, I still said my wife ain't no lie. He didn't do that. He was just more like, but she didn't really lie though, Lisa. Like and maybe like I said, if she listens to what it is they're accusing her of, maybe we can get somewhere instead of all this. I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar. I'm not like liar. Like, shut up. Tell her what was said.
Y'all are funny. I can't.
It's just,
um, yeah, it's we can probably
oh,
talk
man.
about we can probably talk about that all day, y'all.
Oh,
Um,
but you know what I put in my notes? I said, dang, Justin wasn't playing. He didn't want no parts, not even a single drop of the Barlows in his.
oh God, I wish I would have got that screenshot, y'all, because he was serious. Like it was probably 7 o'clock in the morning. He was up.
I was
He
like,
didn't want no parts of that.
I was looking at it like, what is
Give
that?
it to somebody else, but okay. So I guess they had the tequila and then the Blue Jay. Are those like
Was it like a Monster or like an energy drink, or is it like a vodka
mm,
tonic or something?
that's what I'm thinking, like
A mixer?
yeah,
Look,
that's what I'm
child.
thinking, like a cut
Okay.
water type situation or something.
All right.
Okay. So
Let's
next
get
up,
down the brain.
Heather. She's at Beauty Lab or what Beauty
Um,
Lab Laser, her place or whatever. And
mhm.
Brittany stops by. So they sit down for a quick little second. And it's like, what happened? Oh my God, what last night? Oh my God. And so Heather is more so reeling over the Whitney slash Lisa slash husband issue or whatever. But Brittany, she's more so worried about how Jared showed up in her situation. So it's like, okay, we'll talk about that first, right? Um, and that's when Heather said, she's like, you were looking, what she said, she called her a war, she looked like a war widow. Oh my God.
With the black and white.
And Brittany, like, and they could see her pain. And Brittany's like, that's because I love him. Because on one hand, he's so good to me, but on the other hand, he's not all in. And Heather's just like, look, I'm gonna give it to you straight. One time, one more time. You, my dear, you last time I checked, you were going to repair the relationship with your daughters. And you were going to be single. And then I want to say Brittany was like, yeah, I am still single. That's still on the table. And Heather's like, I mess with you. I F with you. But at the same time, you're looking really crazy out here. Like, and you're talking really crazy. And it just doesn't seem like it's getting through to you, because we've had this conversation time and time again. Like, what's going on? And y'all, why does Brittany start to try to play the victim and talk about how she feels like that was just so condescending and hurtful for Heather to say? Because, like, have you ever loved somebody and you found yourself right back? And Heather's like, yeah, I've been in toxic relationships before. Your point. And she's just going on about this whole like woe is me monologue, detailing how she feels so lonely since her kids don't mess with her, and how she lost her mom a year ago and they were best friends. And she just feels like she's just on this endless journey for love that she's never had before. And she thinks she can be a great mom and still date and find the love of her life.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too, because at that moment when she tried to say that Heather was being condescending or whatever, if I was Heather in that moment and she tried to think that I'm trying to hurt her feelings and all that, I'd be like, you need to get the out of my establishment right now, because I've been one of the only people that have actually been trying to help you and tell you to stand up and do what you need to do and actually support you, when he has been out here dogging you out every which way that we turn. She would have had to go. Just like she would have to go too. Even when she was mad at Lisa about the text messages, like she would have been out the friend group like weeks ago. I'm like, don't invite her here no more, because she wants to be stuck on stupid, and I'm not going to be here for it.
They have a lot of patience for her. That's all I can say. They really do. They have a lot of patience for her. I think they look at her like a little wounded cat, and that needs to be nursed back to health, or some little wounded something that. Okay, so now Heather is tired. She's tired of nursing you back. Brittany, read the room and notice that nobody gives about you and your boyfriend. Okay, can we do that? It'll save you and your boyfriend some time. You are wishy-washy with your own boyfriend. One thing we all know, women, you don't tell, even your family, you don't tell if something's going on. If me and my husband have a problem, I don't go tell my sister and I go forgive him, and now she's pissed off.
No, you
Like,
never want to tell like super
you,
interested
you just
parties.
you just don't do that because that's what happens. You go tell the person now, so they're like they're taking notes. Oh, this is what he doing. Okay. Oh, this what he doing? He did this last week. You forgiving all the while you forgiving him, but they're like, dude, this. I got a laundry list of the things that he's doing to you that I can show you that why you shouldn't be with him. And now they can bring this laundry list to you and show it to you, and you still like, well, I don't know why you guys are being like that. Girl, Brittany, get out of our face. We're tired, girl. What were we on? 7?
Yeah.
Girl, 7 episodes. We've been watching you cry about a dude that didn't even bat an eye that you was with another dude. That's why I said last week you should have been all over that dude. I'd have been kissing on it. I'd have took it old school. I'd have gave him a hickey on his neck. Come here, let me suck on your neck real quick. Come here, let's go to the matter of fact, let's go to the bathroom real quick. We ain't even gonna do nothing. We're gonna go talk in the bathroom. We're gonna go talk and matter of fact, make sure everybody know when you walk out of this month. You want Jared to want you, make him think other people want you, girl. I'm just saying, in your position, not me. Just that's for Brittany. I'm just saying, like, get her out of here, y'all. Get her out of here. Get her out of here.
I'm totally okay with that. I don't have enough patience to like tell you once, okay. If I have to tell you again, like, hey, sis, like this is probably not the best situation, I don't want to hear about it anymore. It's fine. Like you can still do it or whatever, but we don't need to hear about it every 5 minutes then, because you're at this point, you're willfully like being ignorant to the fact, like it's like you actually know better and you're just still choosing to jump head first into the oven, and that's fine. I'll let you do that then.
Yeah, you know what? To Brittany's defense, we are gonna find out later on. You know what we already knew. I think we knew that her parents got together in a week or two. They
Like
were married or whatever. So, and then they were married for so long, and then we're gonna find out some things about that. But the point is that she's looking for some fairy tale because her parents look.
Also, her parents weren't neglecting them.
No, not at all. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that's
I'm saying that's also another level of her issue.
She ain't even got to that part.
Kids, you're also doing this and spiting your kids at the same. Like your kids feel. You're supposed to be trying to be like the best mom ever, and instead you put men also in front of your children. That's a whole extra layer of like, no, like this is not okay. Like you want a man so bad, that's fine, but you can't let it
not sacrificing
other areas of your life to ash. Like, come on now.
You can't sacrifice your children's feelings and things for your feelings for a man.
And what is the situation with her children's father or whatever? Like, was she ever married to them? I'm curious about that. Like, was that just happened, or like, what is your relationship history really? Like, Lisa used marriages to bring the rumor on the show. The evil queens don't think any of the wives can be successful out of the show. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. I heard it was somebody else that had their hand in stuff, but it wasn't.
On the show, it came. Meredith brought it to Lisa. I mean, Lisa said it to. No, Heather did. Heather brought it to Meredith, right? I mean, yeah, Heather brought it to Meredith. Lisa. Well, then who brought
it? I wrote down the breakdown, the cliff notes.
Oh, okay, but I'm on the show though.
I gathered on these other videos and stuff like that or whatever. We'll go over that then. Thank goodness Heather told Brittany she looked crazy. Somebody had to say, even though I'm enjoying Brittany's season. Yes, although we don't care about the story, we don't care about Jared, like we don't actually care, but we can't negate the fact that she's holding it down over there on the left side, on the left flank.
For a rookie.
She really is.
For a rookie.
There is no hope for Brittany. She is too defined because of her religion. I don't care anymore. Be gone from my screen.
That's
I'm here for it. I I don't mind seeing her. It's just I need her to wake up. Like I this is not as a person outside of the show, like as just a normal person in life. Like this is not how you should be operating.
Yeah, she cries too much for me. I mean, I'm saying that to say that that's a problem. That's deep down. That's deep issue. That's a like I need her to go
You're
figure
crying
it
for
out.
your date about your I don't want to say ex dude.
Right. Like, and her nose is snotty. I mean, I hate the tears that run out of your nose. I hate the tears that run out of your nose. Like, that is the worst tears. Like, and she's like, I'm like, wait, Brittany, you're
True.
crying too much. That's a depression. That's something going on. I need you. I mean, emotional. I cry a lot too. But because my kids be like, Mommy, we watching The Lion King, Mommy. Why you crying? Because Mufasa died. Don't play with me.
Done. Maybe that's why Brahman did not invite Brittany on the getaway. Well, okay, that I was a little confused with because I'm like, I mean, ultimately, at the
did they
same
have a
time, Brittany's harmless to me. At the same time, like
she's not bringing Brittany on there because it's a couple's trip. And who the hell is
then why is Mary going? Is Robert Sr. coming?
Because it's Bravo's trip. I don't know. So well, if it's Bravo's trip, then why wouldn't they let Heather go? Exactly. And why wouldn't they let Brittany go?
I think that Brittany should have been invited, but
I don't know. That's
weird. I just don't think that if it was because of their quote unquote beef between them two, I just don't think that their beef was that serious to like you be like, oh, Brittany's definitely not coming now, or like, I thought that was kind of stupid. But
yeah, Brittany brings something to the
she's not she's harmless, and yeah, I mean she's given more than other snowflake holders. So
like
even if we don't like it, leave us in the bathroom. That's funny. Hey, Yvette.
Is that how you say that?
I hope so.
Oh, Yvette Day, huh? Oh, there's like a hello. Brittany
delusional. She needs to stop thinking with her downstairs and get back. Ooh.
I like I like that.
You just definitely gathered her up very, very nicely and effortlessly, just like that. Excuse me, but you have a point. It's yeah, you can't be doing that when you got kids involved in the situation. Okay, so Bronwyn and Todd, he's back in town from work or whatever. They are going out to lunch. She has on this I actually really liked her lavender get up that she had on with the little furry situation. I think she looked cute.
Remember, is this where they went to go sit in a little pod thing?
Yeah, they were like in a little.
I don't even remember what she had on because I was so intrigued at where they were sitting and the restaurant, and I was just sitting in there like, I wonder if they came up with this concept during COVID. I wonder. Like that would be so cozy. And then they got a little light in there. And then at nighttime, and then if it's raining, my brain was always in that scene. That's what I was thinking of. All of that. I don't remember nothing. I don't remember her outfit. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Just thinking.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. I just, she wanted to be a fashion girl. So I'm gonna critique her fashions every chance I get. But yeah, they sit down for some lunch or whatever. And like I said, he's back in town because usually he travels like 3 to 4 times a week. And he's based in New York. So now that he's back, she lets us know that she always goes and picks him up in costumes, y'all, but not just like a regular costume, like a cute little, nurse or something. She gets the inflatable, goofy, over the top, like mascot looking, y'all know.
See me from a distance.
You like that dinosaur that's in the corner over there? Yeah, that's Bronwyn. My only thought though, y'all, was she like, because they had several clips of her in different costumes. Did they do all that just for the show, or were they just following her all those times? Like, how did they get all those snapshots of her in those costumes? Is my only question about that. Because, honey,
let's go here. Let's go here with it. And her husband leaves out of town every 3 weeks. He goes out of town twice a week, or basically twice a week, and they film for 3 months.
I'm just saying, like, I get it from that angle, but it was just like,
yeah, that's the only way they can really do it.
Following her all the way over here every single time to get these snapshots of these guys. Hey, they like it. I love it. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people were like laughing and like kind of like rolling their eyes at this or whatever. But honestly, y'all, what she's doing is very much what you have to do. Like in a long-term relationship, marriage, whatever situation, you do have to go through lengths to recreate like fun and the spark and stuff and keep things fresh by doing like stuff like this. Not stuff like this. That'll look different depending on the couple.
Everybody.
But you
Yeah.
definitely have to do little stuff to keep it, alive or whatever. And I the more that we're seeing her and him and learning about them, like I actually do think eh, beside the age gap and all that stuff, I actually do think they do have a genuine connection or whatever. And I
Mhm.
can see that they are both just like quirky people. And yeah, he probably does find it funny.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's cute.
yeah, I did. So again, we already heard last week that well, she said in this scene, I want to say that it's not their 10-year actual anniversary, it's their 10 years
It's
that
when
they
they
were
met.
dating each other. So how
When
many
they met.
years have they actually been married then?
I don't remember. I feel
I
like
was confused. I thought she says they have been married for 10 years.
I think
Anyway,
she's claiming. I think she's claiming their date, like how I am. I celebrate the date that me and my husband met, which is August 12th, and that was 24 years ago. And then when we got married, I have another date that I celebrate. But that date, we've been married this year, be 12 years. So I'm on February.
I mean,
So I do celebrate twice a
we
year.
have well, ours are like within date, like when we first became officially boyfriend girlfriend ever versus when we got
Yeah,
married. That all is like within the same week, so it really whatever.
yeah,
But
mine is
like
not.
I get that, but I just the way I thought she presented it in the beginning was that they were married for 10 years or however long. Anyway,
I feel like she's using that data as how long they've been together because it sounds it just like how when people ask me if I'm married, when they ask me you married, how long you been married? I said 11 years. Like, oh wow, really? I'm like, yeah, but I've been with my husband 24 years. They're like, oh wow. So I get why she would put the 10 if they've been married 8 and or they've been married 9 and they've been together 10. She would put the 10 before the 9 because it just rolls off better, or it sounds like, yeah, oh yeah, I've been together 10 years. Yes. So
I mean, she could have it for whatever reason. I was just basing it upon I feel like how she presented it in like the first episode or whatever. I was like, I feel
if
like
she's
she could
been married
say
10 years, she might have said
um
that. Now I have to go back and go
whatever.
check. You a lying girl. That's when.
So with this being 10-year anniversary for whatever, it brings her back to her first go round when they went to the Indy race in Long Beach. So she thought now it would be really nice to take all the couples back there next week or to Thermal, she says, which is outside of Palm Springs.
Mhm.
Um, but the only thing is, going back to how we were just saying, Brittany, she's like, and he's like, well, oh, is that the girl that had the one guy and then the other guy? Apparently, Bronwyn, and I meant to get a screenshot of this too, and I forgot. Like, she was giving Todd a play-by-play of all of the action that was going on at the anniversary party. She was keeping him very much abreast to everything that was going on. And I thought that was really funny. It's probably something, honestly, probably something I would do. And she was spilling all the tea and everything, so he knows what's going on. And she was like, also though, so it's Brittany, and then the only other thing is Heather as well, because on one hand, it's like if I don't invite her, that's gonna probably escalate our issues. But at the same time, we're not in the best, space currently. So she's in a bit of a bind with that. And then she also goes on to say how it's been such a roller coaster situation with the Gwen, her dad's, family, parents and stuff like that. And apparently Todd was really upset over it too, because he sees himself, of course, as like a father figure to her. And he's very protective of her and how everything got explained where, these people are looking like really kind of being like cold to her. And he's of course kind of like skeptical, thinking like, okay, like this is probably going to just bring more pain and all that. So he's not really here for the whole them trying to be in her life thing so much. And I really liked though how he validated Brahman and her feelings that moment and was like, yeah, like you have every right um to feel the way you do and to feel like angry towards them and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he was just like he's done with it. He feels the way he feels, and like period. That's just how it is. And my only other question about the scene was did she order a pizza? Was she eating it with a knife and a fork? I mean, I get we're filming if you want to, present yourself well, but was that a pizza? I'm pretty sure it was. I was just like, oh, okay.
I can't stand nobody eating no dang on pizza with no fork unless it's numero unos
If
and
you don't look
because
like
it's
a
really
slob on
good.
camera, I get it, but I mean, I don't care. I'm eat my pizza
Picking
like
it up, be
as long
sloppy
as I'm
with
not eating with my mouth open and stuff's falling all the place, or whatever. I'm gonna pick this up. You gonna
it.
see me go to the bathroom and wash my hands or my sanitizer. Like I'm gonna be clean, but I'm not gonna be no.
A pizza? No. Yeah, I like the bonus dad in this moment. I like your husband being supportive of both his family members, his wife and his bonus daughter. Like, he's being protected, you
Yeah.
know. It- he 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 can only do so much. So for all he can really do is be a listening ear and let her know, you're not wrong in how you're feeling. And now, it's sad to say your daughter has to find out this way that this is how they really were and this is how they were to your mom and now this is how they are to you, and
Mhm.
they don't deserve you, and so that's what it is. Brahma mentioned to her husband in the
Okay.
episode Brittany was not invited because she did not mesh with her.
All right. I guess that's fair.
Oh yeah, because remember she thought she had a costume on the first time they sat down.
I mean, I guess, but I feel like that's not like in anything that's happened between them isn't like so. I don't know. I'm just not trying to get down with the long term divides of like I don't like this I just don't feel like anything that we've seen this season yet has been like okay, I'm putting my foot in the ground of I don't like this person and I'm just gonna
I
start
don't
to
think
do something.
meshing don't really mean don't like. It just mean that our personalities don't work together. They don't.
No, yeah, the way that Kevin is explaining like that. If she said yeah, mesh, that's totally fine. I thought it
Yeah.
was straight up like okay, no, I have an issue because she like the whole back and forth they had in Milwaukee at the Harley dinner or whatever, how they had the whole exchange there. I'm just like, can we not cause this to be like I just didn't want that to intensify things to the point that now it's we genuinely don't like each other or something because it's not
Yeah,
that serious.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I loved
I
Bronwyn
know
so much,
so
but
much.
I really did too because I'm like that's
Me too.
that is
Me
something I
too.
would do if I had an immense amount of extra money to have said costumes, then yeah, I would do that. I would do something like that. I sure would.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, not only that, but it does bring smiles to people's faces. I mean, like and people, they stop and ask you, like, why you like that? It's like it's a conversation piece. It's just fun and it's so drab at the airport, and people are like, and they hustle and bustle. So yeah, it's fun when people are being fun at an airport, and especially if you're doing it for your spouse. I
Yeah,
definitely feel like that she keeps the youthfulness, try to keep the spice and the
and just in
youthfulness.
life in general, like it's just
Just even the
world is
colorfulness
too
of her,
serious,
and
and
then
life.
even him, the stuff he collects and things, they kind of on
That's
the same kind of way,
what I'm saying. Like,
That's
yeah, I think he
not
probably.
even the only thing he collects, though. He says he, gets stuff from. I mean, I'm sure
Mhm.
the only thing he collects. I'm sure they have beautiful things from beautiful places. So it's
Yeah,
cool. Like, she found another eclectic person that likes her quirky ways. Like it
I'm here
works.
for it. Hey, Michelle Pacework.
It's work.
I don't want to butcher that, so let me know if I'm butchering it. Are you guys coming over for Twitter?
I
If you are,
think
please
so. I
please make
love
sure
it.
please make sure you guys like the video. Please make sure you guys are subscribing as well. We definitely
Yes.
will appreciate it. Please, please,
So
please.
sweet. What's
18
up,
years have
Michelle?
passed. If they really wanted to be a part of her life, they would have done it before now. Yeah,
That's what we're saying.
we feel like that. Don't blame Bronwyn husband for being protective. He has been there for the daughter when other side has been volunteering to be absent.
Exactly.
That's how I feel. Where it's like, but at the same time, Gwen, a piece of Gwen kind of does want this
Yeah.
because she wants to know her father or and that other side of her identity or whatever. So and I feel like they are obviously supportive of that, but at the same time, I do understand their skepticism. I do understand why Bronwyn is still angry, and I do understand why, yeah, he's protective of both of them.
Well, let's be clear. When their son perished, why
Mhm.
wouldn't you have reached out and looked for her then? Like, what in your mind says like you know there's a daughter here. You know that she's was pregnant, whatever. Like y'all didn't even think. So
They
that
don't
to me, that says a lot. And I hate that the one has to go through this, but baby girl, you got a whole nother side of family until you need it, unless you need a kidney or anything, God forbid, girl. Them is
Yeah,
just strangers in the night. But it sucks because if they live in the same state, she should know her family, because what if I see my cousin or my, you know,
exactly. And then like, yeah, that can get
oh,
weird.
mm-mm.
Yeah, screw them people. I I think unfortunately Bronwyn in-laws most likely blame her for their sons. Have even
Oh,
she
you think so?
family name coming from the Mormon faith, not cool. I mean, we don't. I mean, what was the cause of it though? I wonder. And that happened when she was 2. I want
You
to
think so?
2 or 18 months or something like that.
But
I want
she
to say.
wasn't even here.
I'm
How would
just
she have
yeah.
caused it?
We don't know. I
No,
can't.
no, I'm saying even if the parents think that, what? How could that have happened if she was literally gone? She like, I'm like she was banished. She went and had her kid by herself, and she finds out on what, social media,
I'm
that he's
just saying based
pregnant?
off of the time length and stuff like that. Like I don't, or not the time length, but we don't know the circumstances surrounding his death. So
Right, right.
um, I mean, yeah, of course they blame her. Of course they have ill feelings and are not fans of her or the situation or whatever. We can definitely agree on that. Um, I wouldn't. Gwen is grown, so ultimately she navigated this how she navigated it. I'm eager to see what came of it. If we're not going to see the rest of it unfold on the season, I'm eager to see how it all unfolded at the reunion. But ultimately, I just hope that Gwen, and I said it before, I hope she got what she needed out of the situation. I don't care about them other people, and even in this situation, ultimately, it's not even about Bronwyn or Todd. It's just hoping
Uh,
that Gwen is getting what she needs. She wants her child to feel whole by knowing her roots as a person, give her props as a mom, but she should have been trying a lot sooner than now. Uh, she who should have been trying a lot sooner than now? Uh,
Probably Bronwyn.
well,
She probably.
I don't even think that it's Bronwyn that wants her to feel whole. It's Gwen. Gwen is the one that when they were sitting on that couch, she's the one that was saying like, this is the only way that she can know about that individual is through them, unfortunately, even though they are kind of acting stank. I think Gwen
Mhm.
I think Gwen's grandparents now want to be seen because of how they're being perceived. Oh yeah, we said that too. I said that. I'm
Good
like,
job.
we can
Mhm.
never, and that goes for anybody,
Mhm.
any circumstances. When you see the random family members and friends and these people come out the woodwork, when these people get on these shows, we always have to take that into account that they're just trying to,
Okay.
gain something off of the other person 15 minutes. Oh yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
drugs, maybe, but yeah, he wanted to step up and the guilt made him turn to drugs, which ultimately not, maybe. I
Could
mean,
be.
that's
Could
a
be.
valid that's a valid theory. I respect
Excuse me.
them. I just yeah, I mean, I'm obviously I'm curious as to what happened there, but we will never know unless these people stop acting stank. I like Todd. He seems like no nonsense. Yeah, and I think he speaks very clearly about he doesn't mince his words or anything like that. So I understood exactly where he was coming from in this scene. Then the next scene we get, y'all, is with Lisa, and she's actually accompanied by her younger sister, who, when she was living in Utah at the time, they were actually really close. And as they sit down or whatever, John calls her for the however many times he had called her that morning, and that um is the perfect segue into how she has these codependency issues with they have codependency issues with each other, but it definitely works for them because they complement each other so well to the point that they get up in the morning, they drop Henry off, and they go to breakfast, then they go check on things at the office, and he just makes her feel so supported and loved all the time. It's just that's their morning routine. um and as she's explaining this, her sister actually asks about how Henry's doing. And Lisa lets her know that he's actually been struggling a bit since Jack, yeah, since Jack left. a lot of times like Jack would have his friends around or whatever, and Henry would be around them, and they kind of like served as his hype squad as well. He's not as social as Jack was. So he doesn't really have that support system anymore. And he's obviously, yeah, not good at putting himself out there. And it even got so bad to the point that his birthday was coming up or whatever. He sent some last minute invites out. And instead of the kids coming to his party, they went to somebody else's party. And that really took a toll on him. And he was very upset about it. And of course, Lisa's like at a loss because she's a parent. She can't force the kids to be his friend or anything like that. And it's just really been hard for her, especially now that she's being scrutinized by her so-called friends about being a mom.
Being a bad mom.
Yeah, being a bad mom. And she says that like she really tries to go through lengths to be this great mom because her mom had 6 very different kids and she still tried to make it very special for them and make things very special. So that's just what she's been kind of striving for, only to then be told that she's a bad mom. So this scene for me, it made me like it made me look at least a little bit different, because I'm like, you know what? In the way she was explaining the situation, everything, I'm like, she clearly does know her kids. She clearly is abreast of the things that go on in their lives, their feelings and stuff like that. And that's definitely a really hard predicament, I feel like, for a parent to be in. Um, when your kid is like being like like the outcasted kid or whatever, like you can only love them so much and you can only be like their friend so much. They need, friends their own age and stuff like that. So I liked this scene between her. It made me look at her different.
Agreed.
Okay, I wasn't looking at her as a bad mom just because
Oh yeah, no.
what they said and stuff like that, but it definitely made me warm up to her even more, because she clearly isn't just letting him be on the game all day, every day, and just neglecting him and buying Wendy's and just, letting him just rot in there or whatever. Like, she clearly is involved in her kids' lives.
I have 2 teenage boys. Both of them play games, one on a computer, one on just a gaming system. My husband play games as well. So for me, when people say that kind of thing, that just means that they're excessive. They like to play it. They don't go outside to play. This is what they do instead. So when I say that, I never had Lisa in question on her parenting skills or her being a bad parent ever. That
Right.
girl cries tears up when her kids for anything. Like Lisa loves her children. Like we all understood that. Like, so nobody forever, even when Angie said it to Heather, even if Heather would have been like, so what are you saying? Is she saying she a bad mom? If that's what you were thinking, like I said, do it in the moment instead of waiting and then going to go tell somebody else. But you could have said that to her if you thought that's what it was. Say I'm scared you didn't read something. I don't want to see it. But my thing is, you should have just said, like, you should have said, are you calling her a bad mom? That's my, and Angie could have said yay or nay. And so I never would have thought that that's what it was. Nobody's came for her in that about that. But again, I love the dynamic between her and her sister. We find out, that how many sisters there really are. We already knew that, but where they fall in line. The sister teared up. I'm always gonna have a soft spot for any child that not just being bullied, because he's not being bullied, but being bullied or not being feeling like a whole person at school.
Being
School,
outcast.
yeah, school is a big place, and when you don't have friends, like one of my sons, my youngest son, he was homeschooled for after COVID. He stayed homeschooled for a little bit because when he went back to school, somebody tried to bully him. My other son was in high school, so I was like, you know what, I can't be up there, so I'll take you out of the school before somebody get hurt. And wasn't talking about my son when I say that. So I ended up pulling him out. So he's more of an introvert, and my other son is like her son, the one that's outgoing, got all the friends, about to graduate early. So it's a dynamic is different. Yeah, he's about to graduate next month.
No, I'm just saying, like,
You see
fall, like, just how they fall.
my babies. My babies are 3 years apart, so they're both in high school. They don't even go to the same high school. Like literally, they don't even go to that same high school together. So, but I say that to say, I think Lisa's a great parent. There's nothing wrong with her parenting, other than she eats out a lot. I'm just joking. Eat out as much as you want because that's the kind of parent I wanted.
I
Let's
mean,
be clear.
I mean, it looked like they was eating at home that day when he. I mean,
Oh no,
he
of
bought a
course.
chicken, but still,
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
make a
No, they might not cook, but they might get
excuse
some
me.
food. Yeah, they get some stuff. But yeah, it did
Yeah,
make
she
me
ordered
think at least.
Brussels sprouts. She ordered Brussels sprouts in the scene. I was like, oh, excuse me, Lisa, you know what those are? And
You know what? Not that she know what they are. See,
so, I mean,
she can be
I
shady
think
sometimes.
I would like I would like to be a fly on the wall in her house for just like one day, just to really see, like, okay, are you just getting? I don't want to say a bad edit because I don't think it's a bad edit. I think you are showing up how you are, but I just want to see the other side of her because it just.
I don't want to see the side that don't have no makeup on, girl. Go ahead.
I like Todd. He seems no nonsense. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that. We're going to get into that. Todd was not feeling it.
Bye, Ray. Log
He was
off.
not here for it, and I feel like because of obviously he's of a particular age, like yeah, he's
That's all that is.
he's set in how he feels about it, and I
Mm-hmm.
understood that, and I feel like Bronwyn, she didn't try to, she understood it too. I need to go make Henry's breakfast. He looks so, well, he looks so hungry. What? Her
He
husband,
do be looking hungry because he eat Wendy's all the time. Girl, I'm trying to tell you, him
poor
and Lisa.
man, couldn't deal with the pretty princess routine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa's sister. This is what I was laughing at. I'm like, oh, well, because I read this comment first. I was like, oh, I guess I could kind of see that. And then I read this one, and I was like, oh my god, y'all, not y'all in these comments.
Yeah, stop.
Like, John and Lisa don't have a real marriage. There's no emotional connection between them. He is definitely a robot from iRobot. If your son is a gamer, you get contact with his gamer friends in the area. I mean, sometimes they'll be playing with people from all over.
Let me tell you something.
Country,
My son, we did that. Like literally, my son got a friend in
that
New
would be
York,
cool.
and his friend came out here from New York, and they went. We met him at the Santa Monica Pier and played the pier together. It was a good time to be had, and it was nice. But I agree with that. It's like you got to do that. Like I just found out. I was washing my son's hair the other day. I thought he was just talking to his friend in New York, and he's like, "Oh no, we a friend group. It's like 20 of us." I was like, "What?"
And it's like Lisa clearly knows all these people. Like these people gotta have kids, like or whatever.
Yeah, you got the kind of money you could have. Sure, you could
do something. Like I don't like.
I'm sure
I'm not saying she's not doing stuff, y'all, but we can't have Henry. We can't have a Henry out here outcasted and sad.
Yeah,
no.
Like, no. We do this party the next week. I would have been like, okay, we go to his party next week. All y'all at this party, y'all coming to his party next Saturday.
Yeah, we will never forget that.
Crybaby over dramatic.
We will never forget that.
That's why I said that. That's why I said that because I wonder if her husband get to see her like that.
Don't say that. I make some of the best Brussels sprouts.
You know what?
I myself.
I didn't like Brussels sprouts for a long time, but they're actually really good if you get somebody to make them really good. If they saute them and they're real buttery and seasoned correctly.
Really good ones. I have some Parmesan ones. I can make some maple bacon. Really good.
What was the second one you said?
Maple bacon.
Maple bacon. Don't tell my husband nothing like that. That man will be trying to make me make maple bacon Brussels sprouts every day. That man loves vegetables and he loves bacon. Don't I'm about to hit you up on that one.
It was a last, she did say last minute invite. She did say that to throw a birthday party, and if the other kids couldn't make it, pick another day. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's fake. I hope she wouldn't lie about that.
She was crying, Auntie Bernice. Stop it.
I will say that. Yeah, that probably did him more of a disservice than it really. But honestly, he probably sent it out last minute because he was nervous that they weren't going to show up, obviously, and they freaking didn't. So kids can't be cruel, y'all. At the same time, I'm not saying
cruel. That's why I beat up kids.
I can see both sides in this. My son was homeschooled for high school, but he socialized with his gamer friends, and the ones that are local, they go hang out sometimes. Yeah,
that's it.
There's ways to work the situation. There is.
Whoa.
I'm telling you,
bacon and green. Y'all better
stop. You guys are making me hungry, and we still got like.
I'm probably about to honey.
we got a couple more to talk about. Then we go on ahead. It wasn't really much with this scene though, between Whitney, Angie, and Bronwyn. They all meet up to go for like a little walk in their bubble coats. Really, I think
Love,
when
love
I
the
tell
coat
you
and love the glasses
Bronwyn just give me that coat right now.
right now.
I'm here for anything animal print. I mean, I am from
Me
Jersey,
too.
and it was like, hot pinkish. Like, yeah, Bronwyn, give me that coat. She said
Yeah,
it was also like a sleeping bag, which I was like, I didn't know she was serious, but I kind of think maybe she was. So,
I love
Bronwyn
it.
gets 2 cool points for outfits from me this episode. She gets 1 deduction too, but we'll get to that.
The
Um,
glasses was fly too. They was colorful.
yeah,
Ooh, those glasses was fly.
I
When
wouldn't mind a
Whitney was
tour.
giving when they showed Whitney close up with the red glasses
Yeah,
on
I need those glasses
and the
too.
scene behind her, it was like in portrait mode. I don't know. I was like, Whitney, you giving the Young and the Restless, you giving me that kind of give. I was like, wait a minute, he's like,
Yeah,
why were they gonna show you up on this one?
yeah. I think they looked really cute, but
Me
it
too.
looked a little chilly out there. I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be a
Oh
quick walk if
no,
it was
I
me."
was feeling cold for Angie. I was like, Angie, where your stuff?
I, she had on like the smallest coat, and I think
Short
she
coat.
had on like or whatever, yeah,
She
leggings. I
looked
was like,
cute,
"Ooh,
but not for but the way they was dressed. I was like, you look like you
I would have
freezing.
been, I would have been freezing." Um, but so they're walking and stuff. Of course, Whitney's still pissed about what happened at the party. She feels like Justin is owed an apology from Lisa and John, so that should be interesting. And I want to say, why did I say? Do you think they owe him an apology? Oh yeah, I don't remember who it was, but they're like, "Do you think they owe him an apology?" And Whitney's like, "Well, actually, John did actually reach out to Justin
Mhm.
via text, and he was like, we need to talk about what happened or whatever the other night or whatever." And Justin actually did say, "Yeah, that sounds good. Let's talk about it or whatever." So we know that we're going to get that sit down between them at some point, based off of this conversation. um but Whitney says that they narrowed it down to it being Lisa that revealed this information or whatever. And Angie and Bronwyn don't want to believe that Lisa would do this, but at the same time, um, I think it was Angie that mainly said that, like, when Lisa does get angry, a whole other side of a revengeful side comes out of her. So you never quite know. And Bronwyn's like, I just never seen that side of her though at the same time. And that's when Whitney was like, yeah, you don't see that different side of her because she treats you differently because you have everything that she wants. The parties and this lavish lifestyle and all that. We saw it, which honestly, I was glad that Whitney said that because that made me look at a whole different thing differently. And we can also remember back when Lisa said, whenever they were in Saks or Neiman Marcus, wherever they were, when she walked up to Bronwyn and,
Oh,
or I like whatever, and Bronwyn was like,
mm,
as if or whatever. So honestly,
that's
there might
true
be some truth to
too.
that, y'all. I'm just saying. Um,
Yikes.
but speaking of parties, who
Mm,
is Roman? I guess I meant to say Bronwyn.
yeah.
Bronwyn tells him how she wants all the couples to go to Thermal once again next week for the Indy race. And she says obviously Brittany is not invited, and she's also on the fence about Heather at this time because it's like 1 minute she's stirring the pot, then the next minute she's acting like she doesn't know how it got stirred. And Angie still feels like Heather is taking Lisa's side and only Lisa's side. Yeah. So there wasn't really much with that, but what do you have to say?
I just kind of agree. I do feel like Heather is taking Lisa's side only. She's not looking at both sides. And if she is, I don't see it. And that's all I can say about that.
To expound upon what I just said about how Whitney brought up Bronwyn having everything that Lisa wants or whatever, taking it a step further, I can also see that being the case because Heather, who's always up Lisa's butt or whatever, who is she at odds with right now? Bronwyn. So if Lisa is so fixated on being friends with Bronwyn and liking everything Bronwyn, that would give someone like Heather more ammunition to feel like, well, I don't like Bronwyn because that's the person that Lisa wants to be friends with. I don't want Lisa to be friends with me. She's taking my sidekick spot. She put me in the back seat and Bronwyn's in the passenger seat. Just saying, y'all. Just
That makes
saying.
sense because that makes so much sense because remember, Heather always wanted to hang with Meredith and Lisa. When it first came on, Heather wanted to just always feeling like she was trying to find some approval from Lisa.
Yeah. As Angie said later on in the episode, I want to say she's like she's known her since since they were 15 or whatever, and she always wanted to be one of the people at the cool table, and she do anything that she can to be at the cool table. Yes. She got the revenge body. She's feeling herself. She's like, I am trying to be the cool popular girl with the other cool popular girls, and Brown is getting in the way of that right now.
That sounds about right. Okay. Makes sense.
I'm just saying, y'all. Okay. He needs to connect with gamers in the area. Yes. Speaking of gamers, Candy RHOA rented a game bus for Ace's birthday. That was dope. Lisa can do something like that. I'm here for the game.
My family does that all the time. Not my family, but my family and my friends. We've done that. That should always go up.
OMG, can we talk about if you know you invite company to your home? I don't know. You might want to clean. Yeah, we're gonna get into that, y'all. $1,500 shoes shouldn't smell like recycled.
No,
you're gonna have to get in the corner, Michelle. I believe it until proven otherwise. See, Lisa lied about forgetting to leave that jewelry in Milwaukee. I guess that's one of those things that the world will never know. Did you throw it out, Lisa, or did you not? Barb, remember the open mic when she went off on Meredith?
Yes, that's what I said earlier.
What?
About Lisa with the hot mic.
Yeah, what about it?
Yeah, what's the point, Auntie? Because we said that.
Oh,
that's what, as far as like what we're like Lisa. See, so that'll be something like I don't know. But it has to be.
No, Lisa has her things that she does. It's just certain other things that if she didn't do, she didn't do. But she's done a whole hell of a lot, just like Heather is doing currently. And just like Whitney, everybody's done their part in the matter or whatever. Even Angie, yeah, they all have. Heather and Emily on OC are the same. Wanted to approve of the most popular lead. Yeah. Oh, that's a really good comparison, actually. That's very true. They are maybe they need to start hanging out because they are the mirror image of one another. You're spot on with that. Okay. So then we dive into this big shindig with Brittany and her family. They have other guests attending. It's like a family night / fireside, which is like a Mormon gathering that they have where it's kind of like more informal. They can, talk about their testimonies, all that stuff, y'all. So y'all, when Angie arrives, she has a bottle of wine in tow, and Brittany's like, girl, read the room. We're Mormons. We do not drink. Like, what are you doing, girl? And Angie's like, okay, first of all, yeah, Mormons might not drink, but you, my dear Brittany, you definitely do drink because every time I turn around, we see you guzzling down some wine. Shout outs to production because they definitely rolled every one of those clips of Brittany over there.
It was like 4 different clips, at least 4 of them.
Guzzling the wine. So
I'm
yeah.
like, get your life, girl.
She probably put that right in her purse.
Well, she should have. Not only that, though, let's be clear. She didn't have to do that. Not only that, she's coming to your house for the first time. That's just being a
no. I completely forgot that Brittany. I don't know. I'm just saying, whatever she was giving us in the scene, like we're getting a little glimpse of her family and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It just made me remember that she said she grew up like really poor and stuff, right?
Yep.
Remember the whole role?
She was telling Mary.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I'm not making assumptions here or anything like that, but it's just that brought me back to that because I'm just like, I don't know. That's just not what I saw here when I saw like her family and stuff and the what her dad was saying and all this stuff. Like, obviously, no, you don't need $1 million in your bank account to have a loving household. But I don't know. I just y'all, my wires, my wires are wiring up here. Anyway, in this scene though, Brittany leads them in a hymn, which she actually can sing really well. That's what she should be focusing on. Maybe she can go make her a little EP or something and stop chasing these men. Maybe that's better for her. And then her dad actually speaks. As we said earlier, they were married for 53 years. Him and the wife, the late wife, they were married, and they would go and play pickleball every day. I think he called her a 75-year-old gazelle. They had a great bond. And so at that first 2 weeks after she passed away, he was crying every day, rightfully so. And as we said earlier, they dated 6 days, got engaged 3 months later, and were happily married for 53 years. So that's again why Brittany is so dead set on trying to recreate that love that she saw growing up. But afterwards, Heather tells the ladies that Bronwyn actually invited her to her house tomorrow. So, interesting, right? Which Angie responds by saying that she feels like she actually wants to be friends because she's also getting to know her as well. Because Heather was very much like, yeah, she invited me to her house, and Heather just really get on my nerves right now. And she's like, you feel like you're getting schmoozed by her. And she's like, no, like I genuinely feel like she's trying to have, my experience with her has been different, actually. Y'all got what y'all got going on, but we've actually been forging a genuine friendship. And Heather's just still very much like, she feels like it was super slimy how Bronwyn brought up the information to Angie about what she said and all of that. And then Angie flips the script on Heather, and she's like, well, where was your support for me when Lisa was calling me a
F&B?
When you were telling her that she's being a shitty friend to me? Like, where was all of that? And in her confessional, she says that she's known Heather, as we said before, since she was 15, and she's always cool kids, table, that whole thing. And Angie's like, you have a history of supporting people that, whether they're right or wrong. And of course, Heather's like, well, who are you talking about? And Angie's like, or she's like, who are you talking about? Like Jen? And she's like, yeah. And Heather, she definitely does admit that she has a history of going up for people and supporting people like the church, her friends, etc., etc. And she's very much a person that practices blind loyalty in these situations. But when it comes to this situation between Lisa and Angie, it's about their friendship. In Heather's mind, this is totally different than those other cases. And I want to say that's everything. Yeah, Heather was all like, her feelings were hurt. She feels like it was such a low blow what Angie was dishing up to her right here. How do you feel about that?
I'm sorry.
Making this face at Heather.
I just feel like Angie told her the truth. Like, literally, Angie called her out on her. Called her out and told her, like, look, you didn't come to my defense when the girl was cussing me out. You didn't say nothing to her. You didn't. Matter of fact, and she was over there actually making faces like, get her. And production was being shady at showing that as well. But yeah, Heather, you're kind of showing us your hand, and I'm not enjoying what I'm seeing from Heather at all. I don't know if it's because she has an Ozempic body. I don't know.
Did it go to her brain? Because
I just feel like she, like you say, she's kind of feeling herself, and she's kind of puppeteering and trying to produce something and make moments that are not makeable. And then I don't know, she's like trying to talk like she knows what she's talking about, but it actually kind of feels like you're talking about everybody and not taking accountability for nothing. That's what it seems like to me. Yeah, man. Like I said, I really enjoyed that Angie told her to her face, like, You ain't been giving me the same benefit of the doubt, and I don't know why you so far up Angie's behind and what Angie did, but you're not. You need to give me the same benefit of the doubt.
She gave me the line, but she did not.
She-
Angie was like, "We take communion on Sundays. Here you go."
Okay, Brittany can do Mormon spirituals and make some money.
No, like she really can't. Like,
Go straight to
and
heaven.
you saw it
Girl,
in the clips of her or the snapshots of her and the family when they're younger or whatever. Like, I don't know, they had like a
it doesn't happen.
partridge situation going on or whatever. Like they were like they singers or whatever. So she actually can sing, but for some odd reason she decided to come in on this season and lead with all the stupid in her life and not the real stuff. Because she actually, when she was up there talking and when she's in these type of spaces and stuff like that, it's like she actually has sense in other areas of her life, but for some odd reason she wants to lead with this mess. Why?
Maybe she's trying to navigate through this Housewives thing, and she thinks this is what we want to see, some kind of theatrical dramatization of her having liking on of all the people. We don't really care about the Osmonds like that, Buki. We don't. But okay. So I think she's like caught up in the like reality.
Or because it's Housewives, feels like she needs to be a wife because everybody else has
all of it. It's a concept in her brain. It's like a idea, and then she's like, I want this idea, and I need her to stop fairy telling ideas things, like live in real reality, real world. And like I said, the girl can sing, go on and figure something out. Go. She's a beautiful woman as well. The girl is not even bad looking. She's a nice looking woman. Like, I feel like you can almost have your pick of men. Like, you don't even have to have one. If I were you, never mind, because I'm married. I'm just gonna leave it right there.
Seems like Heather playing role of bone collector and stirring the pot, but when called out, runs like a scolded dog. Yeah, you can take the word seems out of there because that's exactly what she's doing. Mm-hmm. Heather is simply a hidden mean girl whose mask has fallen off, yet very intimidated with Bronwyn, who has clocked her teeth. Yes, she is. And that's why when Bronwyn said, like, yeah, we're just very much alike, that's
That's
true.
what it is. That's all it is. That somebody found her. She mad that somebody clocked it in, and just it's so funny.
And that person's also taking her spot in a group that she wants, which is right.
That's so funny. It's like exactly like the same person without being
all
the same person.
All that stuff, y'all.
Wow.
Okay, we're getting down to the end here. Second to last scene, we get this much anticipated sit down between John and Justin, but not before we see John doing everything he could to. It kind of reminded me, that or one of those Austin Powers movies when they were like, he was like trying to turn the car and he was in like the little alley and it was like, and he was like doing all this because I'm like, why are we watching him do everything in his power to parallel this car or whatever?
Let me just say what I put in my notes real quick before you move on from that scene. There's nothing less attractive on a man than a man that can not parallel park, boo.
Oh, I thought you just meant drive. If drive in general,
drive or parallel park.
If I have to get in and parallel park for you, that's a problem. Which I'm pretty good at parallel parking. But
I love parallel parking. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do, especially a small space where
I'm actually better at parallel parking than I am swinging.
Then swinging what?
I mean, I can, but it's like lately I feel like I've been having to back up and fix myself more or whatever. Well, usually I back into spots anyway. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Anyway. But it was just so much. It was just like
I was like, who's in this car? I was like, get out the car.
I was expecting high heels to come out. I was like, oh, it's John. Okay, excuse me.
I was like, what female is in here? Why? Who are they clowning? What are they doing? Why are we seeing this? Why? Anyway,
I think I thought it was Lisa. I don't know. I was just like so confused. But anyway, y'all.
Did I think it was Lisa? I thought it was Lisa too. Either Lisa or Whitney.
I would have thought maybe Angie, but I know Angie doesn't have that type of car. So I was like,
I don't think about Angie.
Or I could even see that. I could see that being Mary too.
Definitely Mary, crazy.
But does Mary usually drive herself? Yeah.
No, I think she does. She's driving herself.
Okay. Anyway, though, y'all. So, they sit down and everything. They order their appetizers, their old fashions, and John is actually one that opens up with saying like they have two different perspectives of the situation, of course, but he'll hear him out if he'll hear him out. And Justin's like, yeah, okay, fine. He just wants to understand exactly what provoked that because he was surprised by how it all went down and how Lisa came at him like so direct. And of course, he's going to defend his wife, and he didn't feel like what Lisa was saying was appropriate. And not to mention, there was in front of a house full of people. So that's why he responded. And John's take on it was more so that he was scared that Justin got angry so fast once he started to take a step towards Lisa in the moment. Well, because had it been him taking a step toward Whitney, he can guarantee that Justin would be like, dude, like, stop, like, you're doing too much. So Justin's like, okay, well, I can give you that, but how did we get to the point where it happened then a second time then? Did we forget that?
Riddle me that.
And that's when John, it was just a simple, what was she lying about? And John was like, well, he does apologize for doing that. He says it was a snap reaction based on how heightened his emotions were and stuff from the first go around or whatever. But then John goes on to say that, and he said he wanted to get a separation between them two. That's why he came over there, because he I guess even if they were having a conversation, he just wanted there just to be separation. Period.
Grab your wife. Grab your wife.
Yeah, like he went completely. Lisa was over here. He went. It was what Lisa, Justin. He went right between Justin and Whitney. Like what?
What are you doing, sir? No.
And if he was whoa, because I just realized that's too, John. If you were so concerned with getting some separation going, why wouldn't you have walked over there? And when Whitney went over there, or when Lisa went over there to grab Whitney's hand for the prayer, then why wouldn't you have been right? Like I would have been right there then the entire time. He left.
We going to go hold Mary's hand together.
Like, yeah, I would have been on the other side of her if you were that concerned with, stuff escalating and stuff like that. Just saying. But then he goes on to say, do you think that you're in a position to apologize to Lisa? And this is where Justin was like, wow. And John's like, well, John thinks Lisa wants an apology, and he also thinks that she is owed an apology because it read very, very aggressive. And Justin was like, well, yeah, like I'm gonna have to think about that one. But in his confessional, he's just like, he doesn't feel like his reaction was over the top or anything more than what he has seen Lisa do before. He was matching her same energy that she's given off. And he was really taken aback by the request, and he doesn't feel like an apology is owed. So John's like, well, I guess we'll see how it plays out. And they sit there and
drink their old fashioned.
That's just where how the cookie crumble with those two, y'all.
Well, at least they're not mad at each other. There's not gonna be no feeling uncomfortable, like if they're in the same room together. You know what I mean? I can't say much for other women. They diffused it really quickly, and I think that they can continue to build on their friendships. Now, if John thinks that Justin is going to apologize to his wife, he's sadly mistaken, because if that's the case, you're basically saying that they were wrong when, again, Lisa is the one that flew off the handle both times. I'm scared to read it. But yeah, she's the one that flew off the handles both times. And rightfully so, she's been accused of something she may or may not have done, but she's not listening to what she's been accused of. So the way John was parking let me know that
I'm done. I'm done with you, Anthony.
Well,
it really did though. Like that was probably one of the funniest.
That's why. Wait.
John, if you're remove your wife from the area, Justin would have never walked over to talk to her.
It just
Yeah.
wouldn't have not. It wouldn't have happened. Like
Also,
literally,
too, it's like respecting the house and like what's the event and stuff like that. That's also another side of it too. I feel
no
like the way I feel
etiquette.
about when it's like you'd be like, John should Lisa, like we're showing somebody's out, like let's like
Because
I get
Lisa,
what you're saying,
when,
but like, let's not do this right here because
because
this is
even
also
her yelling at Whitney, her yelling
Mhm.
at Whitney was off putting, and then you turned around and walked away from her, and in that same heated moment, gonna walk over to her husband. If you don't grab your wife, John, get your wife. Get your wife. I got him on John's side. Okay, Miss Orange Blossom. What we talking about?
No, I can say
What about
like
Justin Injury this season?
I said
Progressing.
earlier that John
He did have
or
some red wine in his hand.
Justin didn't need to. I understand why first go around John was like, hey, like I'm not mad at that. He felt like that was, a little bit too much that he was
For his
comfortable with
wife.
him trying to motion after her, whatever. Okay, fine, I get that one. It was the second go around that was really like John, that's not cool. And also still, even after Justin, he should have been like, Justin, please, like, don't, I can handle this. And then he should have walked over to Lisa and been like, let's go outside for a minute or something like that. That's how I would have handled it. But I'm just if I was Angie, I'd walked over and told them to take the drama somewhere else. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like Angie actually handled it very well, I think. Because yeah, if it was
Somebody gonna get the memo.
I would have been on top of the table, like get the out, everybody.
Michelle, when the first time Lisa opened her mouth and started arguing, when Meredith, all of that, when they all when Whitney and her got into it, when she raised her voice, I walked over to her like, Lisa, if you don't calm down, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Okay, that's the warning. That's the warning. Hey, Colette. That had been the first warning. And then I would have turned around and then that she would have did it again, and I'd have been like, yeah, I'm gonna have to ask. I just told you I didn't want you to do that. And you turned around and did it again, so it would have been a problem. I do think that somebody's gonna get that memo because I know next week somebody's being asked to leave on the preview. Can't wait to see that. But we're gonna get back to this episode. I'm just saying, people need to kick people out of their houses when they're doing too much, like you do. Like you're disrupting everything. Even so, this is at a whole nother. This ain't even at Angie. Y'all just did this at Angie's anniversary party. This is they're still at the anniversary party, or are we somewhere else? I don't know why my brain just the brain fart. Anyway, all I know is just remove yourself. Ask people to leave. Like if you're disruptive, you want to go. You're disruptive. Because then they know the next time when they come over to or another to a party or whatever, you know what? Let me not. I'm not. You know what? Let me use my inner voice because I'm not getting.
You host the next event, and I'm gonna come over there and fuck your shit up. That's what I would have said.
Let's come on now.
But actually, I'm not. That's not even me though. So like, I don't even get it. I don't get it, y'all. John's not gonna hit Justin, and in reality, Justin would have. That's what I was thinking too. I was kind of like, I don't even think like. I don't know either of them from a can of paint, ultimately. And size doesn't ever matter. But at the same time, I do, for some odd reason, think that Justin, it wouldn't have been too much. It would have been light work for Justin. I feel
definitely. We don't promote violence. We don't want them to fight.
No, y'all. We definitely
don't want them to.
But y'all, the final scene we get is between Heather and Bronwyn. And Heather comes over to Bronwyn's house with her 6 dogs. And Bronwyn is actually she's very self-aware enough to know that a lot of the blame lands on her, because she's like, Heather hasn't really gotten the best version of her thus far. So she was very accountable from minute 1, if you ask me. She says that she thinks that they don't get along because they're actually kind of similar. Heather seems to think that Bronwyn is ready to apologize though and make amends for how she's been behaving because she's kind of been an a-hole according to her. So we already know right off the bat it's going to be an interesting showdown because Bronwyn's coming in with this energy, Heather's coming in with this energy because again, like we had said up until this point, Heather was just so oblivious as to why she's going over there. She was surprised that Bronwyn even asked her to come over, the whole nine, right, y'all? So the
Mhm.
energy, everything is building up. And so they sit down or whatever, or no, Bronwyn actually was showing Heather around her house and stuff. And she's like, well, if Mary lives in Whoville, then Bronwyn's house is definitely giving Pound Puppy's Palace, because why is there dog shit all over your house? Y'all, we already know that Bronwyn has 6 dogs, but that's why that's nasty, because it's like if you have one dog, okay, or whatever. But if you have no business having any dogs, eh, 1, 2, however many, if you can't clean up after them. Like that's just, are you Bronwyn?
Disgusting. I just, for me,
So bad.
I don't understand how you can have such a nice house and you have these dogs frolicking around, moving around, doing too much. Like they
You
don't have
can't
an
handle them.
outside house. You don't have a dog house for them. I mean, y'all don't have
It's
somewhere for
cold.
the.
It's cold. They're in Salt Lake City. It's too cold for them to be outside.
I
But her
said,
house has a
I
furnace
mean,
and
I mean a real. I'm
their
talking
own
about.
room.
I'm
There's
talking
enough
about
to
a
have
back house. I'm talking about a real back house. I'm talking about a real
a
like a
guest.
back house. Like a guest almost. I mean, you're gonna
I
have
mean, I
six
don't think
damn
that,
dogs.
she wouldn't
That's
want her
too much.
dogs outside of the house, but her house is big enough. We've seen the outside view. It's big enough. It's only her and
Her daughter
her
and
daughter.
yeah,
So the
I
house is
get
huge.
that.
She could have a whole dog room, I would think.
That's well,
And
that's
that,
what I mean.
first of all, that's something that happens all the time, because clearly they're comfortable. They will go and they have people's dogs that are trained are not just going to go in the house or whatever, unless it's like a real
Yeah,
emergency. No, they're just shitting up the place because that's
I
just how
can't
you have.
believe you got 6 dogs and none of them are trained. That is just why do you have
People
six
like that
dogs?
don't need to have dog animals.
That was just
So
nasty.
we just had to stop there real quick and say that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was a lot on life.
It
This
was.
that was too much.
Are you serious? Her
And
gal.
before you go on, I do want to say that the intense work, 2 different perspectives, like you said, it was like Bronwyn's going in, we're literally trying to fix some things because she really wants Heather to go on this trip, and then Heather is already on some. I don't know what they're calling me for. Why is she even worried about me and want to talk to me? And I'm like, well, do you want to be a friend or you don't? Like, I don't understand, because I feel like you don't, and you just should lead with that. Like, I'm kind of cool on you. Like, I'm good. Like, you should have just led with that from jump.
Yeah, facts. Oh,
Poopalooza.
I
It's
also
Poopalooza.
I also was thinking too, though, and I just thought about it too, going back to that. Wasn't like she had all that like food or whatever orders, stuff like that for them to eat, right? Wasn't it just like in the open? And then now
Yes,
you have 6 dogs and shit all
yes,
over the place.
yes.
I
The
wouldn't have ate.
dog walked right over there even
The
when Heather
dog
was
was like
eating.
scratching the entire time they were talking or whatever. Too much going on. Couldn't be me. Heather's better than I even was. I'm like, can we just talk outside? Can we just talk in the car then or something? Because no. Tucker also has
I
like
like that pun intended.
how she kept trying to flip it back on Brownlee and then talk about her house. Like, do that, look at Kyle and her dogs. Yeah, I'm not here for like, like I
Heather
don't
was doing a lot. Heather
like,
was doing a lot. She don't look.
and now she don't.
Now we know she don't cook.
I don't know. If I was Heather, I would have walked out the house. Imagine something doggish and then having a pressure wash. Yeah, that wouldn't have been cool.
Oh man.
But going back to the conversation, Bronwyn, she's saying that she's happy that she came over and everything. And Heather was like, yeah, I'm surprised that you invited me over because it seems like you really don't like me too much. And that's when Bronwyn was like, she shares in that sentiment, but she says, she does apologize if things went left with her at the same time. Again, she's very apologetic right off the bat. And Bronwyn left, she lets us know and lets Heather know that like she left when they all were in the car going on their like Wendy's trio outing trip that one time. She left that situation thinking that everything was cool with them, only to find out that Heather was telling Whitney things that she thought she had said in a whole different tone. So of course when she found out that Lisa and Heather were talking about Angie, yeah, she was very much petty and decided to bring it to Angie, and she openly admits that. And she recognizes that that wasn't the best way to handle it, and she actually does apologize for those things. And the whole time, Heather's over there kind of like giving like these sarcastic laughs and like scrunching her face up and stuff. And um, she wants to start then at this point emphasizing how that was just so messy of Bronwyn, and she just like really just thought that was just diabolical pretty much. But Bronwyn was like, you know, she's cool with knowing that she was a messy, and she's not apologetic for it because she actually wants to move forward. But at the same time, like, she's apologized multiple times at this point, and Heather hasn't opened her mouth to say anything that resembles a apology. And Heather's like, she's like, you know, and at this point, Brown was like, she's going to need an apology from her because I'm very forthcoming and apologetic. This is kind of how this works. Like, I take accountability and apologize for my part. You take accountability and apologize for your part. You know, you kind of you see where that's going. And Heather's like, yeah, I don't even find this genuine. She doesn't even understand why she was invited over, if that's the case. And so then that's when Bronwyn really gets down to it. And she's like, well, look, I'm planning a trip, a couple's trip or whatever. And honestly, it's going to be next week and everybody's invited. But at the same time, me and you have this issue going on. And it's like, on one hand, I don't want to not invite you because that can just make it even bigger than it is.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, we have this that we need to get past. And as you can see, I'm apologetic. I'm actually wanting to move forward. But you, again, haven't parted your lips to say anything about the part that you played in it, Heather. And Heather's like, so you're planning a trip, and I'm just supposed to come over here and sing for my supper and earn an invite?
Who said that?
Hold on. That? I don't know. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said
that? Are we being for real right now, Heather? Like, are you serious? So, and she's like, I should apologize, and you don't take any ownership for anything that you did. Like, what did you think was going to happen? And Heather was like, I wasn't sure that what was going to happen. Honestly, she's just so taken aback by all of this. And you know, Heather's like, you know, she's seen how Brown has talked about people behind their back, and she believes that that's exactly how she talks about her behind her back as well. Starts flipping the script or whatever. I didn't write down specifically, but then they got on to the whole prenup comments and stuff like that. And Heather's like, you know, she just, I think she said she wasn't saying anything ill toward her husband, but that's how Bronwyn took it, like as if she was calling Todd dumb for not getting a prenup as well or something like that. And in the end, we see Heather saying, you know, she's just going to leave because she's feeling sick and exhausted. But, you know, you have a lovely home, Bronwyn. And
liar. You're lying. Why would you even say that? You don't even like her house. So you're going to sit here and lie again. Like, girl, get yourself to gather yourself. Gather your things. You're exhausted. Get your exhausted ass out of my house. Get out. Go now. Because I invite you to my house. I'm trying to invite you to this party. I'm taking accountability. And you're sitting here like, I don't believe anything you're saying. And I don't know why you invited me here. And Heather, what Twilight Zone are you in? Because literally, Bronwyn, I don't see no ill will right here. I really don't. Y'all tell me, do y'all see ill will with Bronwyn in this moment? Because I don't.
She has no reason. She owned herself, and I feel like that's honestly where she's been speaking from this whole time. Is at that table when she got started from day one, and it was like, what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. It will be an issue if Bronwyn was not taking ownership for her part, but she's saying, hey, I'm a messy bitch and you're a messy bitch too. And it's Heather that's over here talking about some, what are you talking about? I am messy bitch. You're just a messy bitch. Like, it's either we're both going to be that or nothing.
There's
it's
no reason to talk. Yeah,
Heather is too busy trying to deflect and stuff. And I'm not going to say I felt bad for Brown because ultimately it is what it is. Like, if you apologize, I wouldn't care even that much because in the end she's talking about how she was hurt and stuff because she was genuinely apologetic and ready to move forward. But I'm just like, you did all you could in this moment. if she doesn't want to own up to her part, you're not obligated now to invite her or to keep trying to make amends with her because she's playing in your face.
It's crazy because it really hurt Bronwyn's feelings because Bronwyn ended up crying at the end. And
Yeah.
good for you guys. I'm so proud of you guys. The Lions is doing a big one. You know, I'm already sick because we have men's shoes. So I don't even talk about it. Auntie don't even play with me. But I am proud of my husband's team, who is the Steelers. You know, they doing a big one too. So kudos to them as well. Just have to throw that out there. They both are at fault, but don't apologize and expect an apology because then it's real. True. I agree with that.
She was that is true. Yes, you apologize.
I don't think she said that she's an apology. I don't think it was an apology.
Like we're trying to
take accountability. Accountability, not an apology. She wants her to take accountability that you said you started telling people stuff about what I said and taking it out of context of how I said it. And even though it really wasn't out of context, when you said that about Whitney, you said she said like she was like she rehearsed that in the thing. But when you talked to Whitney, you said to Whitney, that was brilliant. I mean, I couldn't believe you said that. It's like, well, what? Because in the car, you just said, I was there. I was right there in the car with you guys. I was in the car on the camera. I was right there. You said that she sounded like she had rehearsed it her whole life. It's what you said in the mirror. But then you turn around, you said it to Whitney. You said, Whitney, you did a good job. So that's why Heather looked at you that way. But again, Heather shouldn't be going back and saying nothing. And if you felt away, check in person. Check it right then. When she said that about Whitney, girl, you don't even know Whitney like that. You gonna say something about that girl? That's my cousin, girl. Or girl,
because you're actually the one that's setting Whitney up and are being frenemies with Whitney. So
there you go. So that's why Bronwyn is like, take accountability. You didn't check me. We all were sitting there talking about him. We all were. They couldn't see her behind her. Lisa was fired up. She was feeding off of Lisa. Lisa and them two were feeding off each other. Meanwhile, Heather's in the back steaming and thinking about, dang, I don't know. They felt like that. You should have checked them. You should have said something. Lisa, I didn't know you felt like that. And now you got Bronwyn talking. She don't even know our friends like that. Remember, we are the friend group. That's how, Heather, you started this whole thing, beach on the beach, and nobody's going to ever come in between us. And you sitting there infiltrating everybody. Huh?
Honestly, I only understand Heather in the sense I'm not going to beg to go somewhere and I'm not invited, but Heather wasn't doing herself any favors during the sit down. Yeah, no, I would never beg somebody to go wherever, but it was more so like, girl, we're trying to do something as a group. I'm not trying to, I genuinely believe Ron was coming from a good place and saying like, I'm not trying to exclude you. That's why I would like for us to both be mature in this situation, come together and squash the bullshit because we both added to the bullshit. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
but Heather is just so stuck on all of what Bronwyn thought and is acting like she wasn't doing exactly what we're seeing she's doing and what Bronwyn's seeing she's doing. Heather's okay, y'all. I'm gonna she can play y'all. She ain't playing me.
Mm-mm. Yeah, Heather she did too much. I feel like my thing is this. If that was a case, Heather, you didn't even have to, you know what? Rowan, I'm not gonna come over. Can we have I can discuss it over the phone or can we meet somewhere? I feel like you're on her territory. She's asking you to come to her house. When people ask you to come to their house, that means they're extending.
I'm not gonna ask you to come to my house if I'm gonna be on bullshit.
That's what I mean. Like literally, I'm not. And I'm gonna have a conversation with you. Then I'm gonna say we gonna meet up at the restaurant like Justin and them did. We gonna do common ground somewhere where it's not like. But if I invite you to my house, that means I got good intentions, and my house ain't even together. So literally, why would I invite you to my house if I'm not being in good intention? So I felt like Heather was jumping the gun. She came in with ill will, and she didn't care what Bronwyn was gonna say. She was just gonna come in there like she's not gonna pull the wool over my eyes. That's how she came in there.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, I'm not gonna invite you to my house to escalate issues or whatever. Obviously, I'm trying like that's an olive for someone like me. That's an olive branch in itself.
Because now we're not. Why would I have you come to my house if I'm not trying to be friends with you?
Also, I don't understand Brown not inviting Heather and Brittany to the couples trip when Mary probably won't show up with Robert Sr. As I said before, I think everybody should go on cast trips. Yes, and that's kind of where I
Yes.
was speaking from when I was saying that earlier. Like, I'm not like I didn't want to see it be because their little stupid petty beef, that being the reason why Brittany wasn't there or anything like that. Because yes, I want to see everybody on a cast trip. Period.
Do we know for sure that Mary's gonna? Are we for sure that Mary's making it to the trip, or
No, I got to go back and look.
Okay, I would have to do that too, and then on top of that, because you know that would be Mary's out. Not that she doesn't want to hang out with them, but her out would be I'm if I come, I have to tell them why I don't have I'm not with my husband.
I definitely him.
Yeah, so I don't know if she's gonna come or not.
Either she's gonna be there, but without him, or she's not coming at all. I highly doubt we will ever see that man on our screen again.
Like no.
Yeah, she brought her to her home to make it look like she was trying to be genuine and apologize.
Oh,
so the whole thing was pointless on both sides. I genuinely do, because what type of gain is Bronwyn getting having beef with Heather? Like, I genuinely.
Okay, so here's the thing. I didn't write this down. I don't want to cut you off because of this. I didn't write down. And remember, I said that I had something to say earlier about this. That Bronwyn said in this scene. Remember when she came back and she started crying? You know, like they show her crying a little bit. So in that scene, she says she's always feeling like she's not good enough. And that she's looking like, it's almost like she's looking for approval. And when she said that, I said, okay. So what I did was say that's why she dresses and does all these things, is to mask the feelings that people don't take her as the person she is, and she's not people don't take her either seriously or you know, I don't think she feels like her peers thinks that she's adequate enough to be like on the same level as them, even though she got the money, she got things. But I think those things she does that to mask the real feelings, is that she's looking for everybody's approval. For what, I don't know. She needs to figure that part out, but she's looking for people's approval. And when she don't get it, when she didn't get it with Heather, that's when it upset her. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So you use all these big things and these clothes and all this stuff to mask that you're really trying to fit in. This is the word I'm looking for.
I can see. I always knew, it was something more than just, I just like to dress like it was something behind. I always knew that. And I also am glad you brought that up, because I was like, with these big ass earrings, I don't dislike the earrings, but I'm like, girl,
not with this outfit.
Not with anything. Not with you. These are not for you. Like, you don't be rocking the stuff. You know, sometimes the stuff be rocking her, y'all.
No, literally.
And these were rocking her. She looks like a substitute teacher, and just no, like she needed to have a edgy, slicked back hair.
Yes, I think it's the same thing, girl. That's like, when you said don't wear them,
like the earrings was wearing her.
That's why I said when you said don't wear them, I was like, no, that would look really cute with a slick back.
And you know she's really feeling herself right now, because Rihanna followed her on Instagram.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Her head is about bigger than this entire screen right now. But I mean, I'm still cool on Bronwyn. I'm not mad at her. She's still cool in my book. Heather, I see you. I see you, Heather. And Whitney, I can see you too. And that's actually where I want to take it. Just right now, in the end, is to kind of summarize. Shout outs to Kevin, if you were still in here. He's been keeping me very much abreast to, why are my notes doing this? Very much abreast to like the behind the scenes, like what's being said, what bloggers and different people have been coming forth and kind of explaining the situation between Lisa and Whitney and the whole Prism situation. So just like the little cliff notes that I've gathered from it goes something like, okay, so apparently I think her name is Dana Wilkie. She's a podcaster, whatever. She has a Patreon as well, I believe. So apparently Heather went to her
Okay.
in the beginning. She went to
Heather.
her.
Okay.
Heather did, yes.
Mhm.
And then from there, and Heather went to her because if we take things back, apparently the post or whatever, the Instagram post that was calling Whitney out for the Alibaba stuff or whatever, apparently that happened in January or whatever. And Heather went, it's looking like Heather went to Dana to kind of push that story even further because it was like on the Instagram or whatever, but she kind of wanted Dana, a podcast or somebody, to actually do videos and stuff like that to blow that story up is kind of what it's reading or whatever. That's what I gathered from this.
Mhm.
And then so from there, Adam told Whitney that, you know, this is coming out. He heard, because I guess he's a subscriber or whatever to Dana's Patreon, whatever.
Right.
And he went and told Whitney, like, hey, I think this is coming out, whatever, whatever. And that's when Whitney told him, hey, go talk to Dana because she knows that it's Lisa, but she just needed the proof. And so then the phone call that we saw, and I said this last week, the phone call that we saw when she was in the car with Justin or whatever, that happened before Adam even talked to Dana.
Oh.
Yeah. And then that's what I was saying, the way that they cut it and stuff like that. And he actually had his husband record him because he knew that the production might chop a screw and do something weird. Remember how they put that confessional right in the middle of it? They did it so when they broke it up like that, it looks like he's saying, yeah, it was definitely Lisa, when he in fact never said that it was Lisa. They were having two different like conversations about stuff on the phone, and then they pieced it together to make it look like that's what she was saying or whatever.
Okay.
And so Whitney then requested Adam to call her to have something to film, though, because again, like I said before, she was so dead set on knowing that it was Lisa, but she just needed something to show us or whatever. So it kind of made sense to bring it to the show or whatever. So that's when they pieced together the conversation, saying it was Lisa. And he was also supposed to look into not only the Alibaba Prism stuff, but he was also supposed to look into this Instagram that was supposedly attacking Bobby, her daughter. They were saying like really crazy stuff about her, I guess. So they were having, she had him do that too or whatever. And then so Adam says he made it clear that it wasn't Lisa. And then so Heather leaked it to Dana because it's like I said before, it's looking like Heather leaked it to Dana because she was lying when Meredith brought it up, and she was instead hoping it was Meredith who would bring it up or whatever. Meredith brought it up and was like, oh, did you hear this or whatever, and Heather's acting shocked or whatever. No, Heather actually already knew about it because, like I said in the beginning, she's the one that hit up Dana or whatever about it in the beginning. So Heather, you're lying once again. And Meredith also on the after show or whatever, Meredith actually even said that Adam hit her up and called her and was like, it wasn't Lisa. And he doesn't know why Whitney is going about it the way she is and why they cut it and chopped it and screwed it the way they did. Meredith actually said that. And it's like at that point, he's saying he didn't do it like that. Meredith is saying he did that he came and told her that or whatever. So if Whitney, if the source that you're saying helped you get this together or whatever is saying that he didn't say it, he's telling Meredith he didn't say it or whatever. Then where are you?
Where's your proof?
Exactly. Your source is saying that they're not the source. So what are you saying? And also it was not the reasonable shady Instagram that first posted the Alibaba post. It was not. It seems like Heather saw the Instagram post and sent it to Dana to have her blown up, like I said before. We don't know, we don't know who was behind that original like post and stuff like that, but you know, inquiring minds would love to know. That's the only like unclear thing, and that's probably why like Whitney keeps going around saying she has user sheets and stuff like that, but it hasn't shown anything concrete. So y'all, that's where I'm saying like it's looking a little messy the way that they're breaking it down and what I'm gathering online and stuff like that. So just some
so Lisa, it could be very right in saying that Whitney is a liar and that she didn't do anything. Oh, child, this is getting too deep for me.
Let me hit up y'all's comments and then we're gonna get out of here. Heather definitely came with ill will. Heather gaslight Brahman like I don't see you. She can keep her home and be mad for the rest of the season. Sure can. It's awful. Low key. It's not hard finding beef. Hey, Mo Media.
Hey,
Um,
Mo Media.
seeks approval from others, so she goes over the top in all aspects of her life. I think Bronwyn's a good addition, but I'm on the fence with Brittany. I'm the only reason why we're on the fence. Well, I'm on the fence with Brittany is because, like, obviously your judgment as far as your love life is insanely poor.
Trash.
But I think that she's a good addition as far as, like, again, she's given a lot more than certain other cast members, so can't hate on that.
Yeah, true.
Giving good TV. Okay, so you saw it too. Cool.
Okay.
Okay, so here. Thank you again for
Mhm.
all that, Kevin. For some reason, I don't really trust Dana Wilkey. She felt entitled for clout from Bravo, even though Dana Wilkey allegedly wasn't the originator. Yes, she wasn't the originator of the Alibaba Deep Dive. Apparently, I don't know. I don't watch her. I don't know anything about it. I'm just giving you guys regurgitating what I've gathered or whatever, just as some food for thought. This is all alleged, by the way, y'all. I
Mhm.
will still be vindicated, and Whitney will be exposed for running a marketing scam. Yeah, because I'm hearing too something about an MLM too from her.
Oh
So,
Lord.
and it's
Why
just like,
y'all do scammy things when y'all know y'all
I
co-workers
don't
and work for that?
know. But Heather also was on the after show talking about some, like, yeah, like, because yeah, why would it, like, Heather's, ooh, I'm seeing what she's doing. And she said something along the lines of, like, yeah, because why would it be Lisa or a liquor brand, or she has a liquor brand or whatever? It would definitely be somebody. I could see it definitely being somebody who has another jewelry business or something like that, talking about Meredith, who's sitting right there or whatever. So it's just like she's trying to plant all these seeds and throw
Mhm.
people off of her trail, it seems like, when it's looking like you played a integral part of this whole ish. Young Thug is free with 45 years probation and 4 anti-gang presentations every year. Plus, community service can keep his passport. Shout outs to him.
Wait, 45 years of probation?
I don't.
Boy,
I haven't been
that's
following
walking up.
it, so
That
I
means
don't.
walking on your tippy toes for 45 years. Good
I
luck,
did.
young thug.
Hold on. 1 second.
That's a long time. I can't believe they released him. That's crazy. But they said the court was kind of crazy, so whatever. I can't pull up no things, but I don't really. If Whitney it has something to do with doing this to herself and making this a big to do for a storyline, that's a problem. That's gonna be a real problem for me. I'm like, wait, what? Because why do y'all want to be mad at each other? I don't understand that either. Maybe I guess it makes for good TV, but really, it's like, okay, already get mad at the new girls. Don't get mad with each other. It's just getting annoying for me. But hey, y'all, can y'all rate the episode as well? Because we didn't get what you guys thought on the rating. If it's let us know what you thought. Like I gave it an 8. Yeah. I think Bar gave her a 7.5. But I can't wait for next week, y'all. Next week is gonna be Seth jumping up and calling. Well, I ain't gonna say he called him, but when he said like he got proof and said, I said, wait, what? Who you talking to? You talking to Sean? Seth, don't do that. Just don't do that. It's gonna be a lot going on next week. I literally cannot wait. I think next week is gonna be like one of the fiery shows. I can't wait to see who's gonna be on there. Okay, I see. You gave 8 out of 10. Okay, we all on the same page. Okay, Michelle, you only gave it a 6. And Auntie Bernice, you gave it an 8. The episode was on an 8 for me.
Sorry about that.
Not the most exciting one, but storyline were being moved around. Got you. Okay, you subtracted some points. I got you. I was just wondering.
Oh, we're talking about what we were.
I had them rated, and then I was just talking about the next, with Seth, how Seth is gonna call. Sorry, y'all, I'm eating Tootsie Rolls. I love Tootsie Rolls, especially around this time. Sorry. When Seth called, she's gonna be, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I got the proof, bitch." I said, "Wait, who? What are you doing?"
We're gonna have to y'all, but I still got my antennas out on all those situations. Nonetheless, I still very much enjoyed the episode, and I'm excited to see where we're gonna go in this next one because it doesn't seem like there's gonna be a shortage of drama whatsoever, and I am here for it. I'm here for it. I really, really am, y'all. Southern Mary's gonna try. Yeah, this is y'all are a mess.
Show out with the creepy. Come on, you know they are. You know they are. Yeah, she's gonna
Definitely appreciate y'all being here. Shout out to the 24 people that were watching on Twitter. Y'all, please come ahead and subscribe to the channels. Please, please, please do that.
Hey, princess, little girl.
Hey, princess. Link is in the bio. Don't forget to like the video, please.
Both channels, y'all. If y'all can come over here.
We're streaming from both channels, y'all. Like from both channels. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to do all the things. Share us with our people. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat. You guys gave great commentary, great opinions. We always value you guys' opinions and give us, food for thought down here. So shout outs to you all. Yeah, I hope you guys will join us again, same time, same place next week. And yeah, don't forget to vote if you haven't already. Do that because it's very important. This is one of the most important elections that we probably will see in our lifetimes. So please do so. And that's all I got.
Yeah, exercise your right, y'all. Exercise your right. We all have the right, so let's exercise it, please. And you guys have a great Halloween. Be safe out there. If you go outside and trick-or-treating or anything like that, do me a favor. If you're handing out candy, be especially sweet to those babies carrying those blue jack-o'-lanterns. Those are babies that have autism. My granddaughter has autism, and matter of fact, I'm going to put all that up today. But they just be mindful that there's other kids that pop up there. Just make sure that you are paying attention, that they have a blue one. They might grab more, they might not grab none, they might stand there and look at it, they might do any one of those things. Just be extra cautious and make sure that you are watching out for those babies that got the blue lanterns because they have autism, and that's why they carry the blue lanterns. Okay, and look out for the people with the reflectors. And you guys, wear bright clothes. We want our babies all to come home safe tonight. Okay.
And yes, y'all be safe. And yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.